get us something. Where are the boys sitting?
If you're an athlete, you never know when an injury might happen. That's why Parkview Sports Medicine has made the new Ortho Express Clinic. Located inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, the Ortho Express Clinic has everything that an athlete would need, from physicians to athletic rehab and sports performance. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on.
Get mad about blue. Get mad about your Fort Wayne Mad Ants. When looking for the best basketball action in town, it's the Go to FortWayneMadAnts.com for the complete game schedule. See your Fort Wayne Mad Ants in action. Get mad about blue.
You are looking live at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium on the campus of Southside High School, where 2 weeks ago the girls' sectional was decided, and today the boys' IHSAA Sectional 6 swimming and diving finals will be held. Good afternoon, everyone. Jim Kressel along with Jeff Mahoney and cameramen Mitchell Van Brocklin and Sean Boswell, and we will be bringing you all of today's action. For the IHSAA state meet, each of the 11 participating schools in this sectional may enter a maximum of 3 participants and 1 relay per event. Each participant can compete in no more than 2 individual events and 2 relays, or 1 individual event and 3 relays. Thursday night preliminary heats were swam in each event, and the top 16 individuals and relays have advanced to today's finals. Each event will have 2 heats, a consolation or a B final, and a championship or A final. All legal swims today will score points for their school, and each winner will automatically qualify for next week's state finals at the IUPUI Natatorium in Indianapolis. Earlier today, the diving preliminaries took place, with each contestant attempting 8 dives. Each participant will finish the competition by performing 3 more dives as the 5th event this afternoon. All the divers who legally complete all at least 10 dives will score points for their school, and the top 4 divers will advance to regional competition Tuesday night at Fishers High School. From there, the top 8 will advance to the state finals along with swimmers from today. The IHSAA sectional meets are a 25-yard pool with 8 lanes. Here at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium, lane 1 is nearest to the spectator stands, of which we are located. The order of events today for the competition will be the 200-yard medley relay, the 200-yard freestyle, the 200-yard individual medley, the 50-yard freestyle, diving, the 100-yard butterfly, the 100-yard freestyle, the 500-yard freestyle, the 200-yard freestyle relay, the 100-yard backstroke, the 100-yard breaststroke, and it ends up with the 400-yard free relay. Well, today we expect Carroll and Homestead to be the 2 schools competing for the title. However, look for some strong competition from some individual swimmers from some SAC schools. Jacob Miller from Snyder, Finley Brooks from Concordia, and Liam Brooks from Concordia will challenge the Carroll and Homestead swimmers in a few of these championship heats. Today's broadcast is being brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports, like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also by Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. Our elite team of experts in orthopedic surgery, athletic rehabilitation, nutrition, and sports performance training offer athletes coordinated care and instant access at the new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic inside the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. Also, ParkviewSportsMedicine.com is the new go-to for local sports. With sports and highlights for all area high schools, Parkview Sports Medicine wants to celebrate the accomplishments of athletes on and off the field. Check it out at ParkviewSportsMedicine.com. To make Parkview Sports Medicine part of your team, give us a call at 260-266-4007 or log on to parkviewsportsmedicine.com. Big Eyed Fish supports Fort Wayne area athletics and has been around the Northeast Indiana for generations. Originally located at the historic 1502 North Wells Street, you can also visit their express locations at 3001 Hillegas Road and their express north location at 10380 Leo Road. Big Eyed Fish has a 4.3 star rating out of 5 with over 215 Google reviews. Find us at originalbigeyedfish.com and bigeyedfishexpress.com. Like our Facebook pages for updated promotions. Enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment here at Big Eyed Fish. And Parkview Sports. Parkview's new Ortho Express Clinic is your new home for all your orthopedic needs. Instant access to physicians, x-rays, physical therapy performance, and our sports dietitian are all at our fingertips at the new Parkview Ortho Express. We meet at the athlete when and where they are playing inside the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse with evening and weekend hours. Parkview Ortho Express. Learn more at parkviewsportsmedicine.com. Well, we'll get started here in a little bit. First thing we're going to do is we're going to have a parade of athletes, and then we'll have a national anthem, and then we'll get started with the 200-yard medley relay. We would like to thank Liz Kaywood, the natatorium director and the meet director, for her hospitality. Liz gets us a nice seat right here in front of the action so we can call it for you. And a lot of hard work goes into putting on a sectional event 2 weeks after having done one the girls earlier. The teams are beginning to take their place for the parade of athletes. Again, Homestead and Carroll are the two prohibitive favorites in here. Each will have 3 championship swimmers in all events except for the 50 freestyle, where Carroll had a swimmer qualify 9th and will be the top seed in the consolation heat. Again, all swimmers will score points as long as they're legal. The automatic state qualifier goes to the winner. And there are state qualifying times that can produce athletes going to state next week if they are not the winner. We'll get a little bit more into that when we have a little more time. We expect a pretty fast meet here today. A lot of former participants, a lot of former champions are still in the field. Every sectional record has been set in the last 3 sectionals. Unlike the girls who've had some records dating back to 2014, 13, and one all the way back to 1999, all 12 records for these events today have been set in the past 3 sectionals. And we have Julian Norman with one of those records, and he will be trying to break his own record later today. Looks like the teams have been lined up. The officials are ready, and shortly we'll be turning it over to the meet announcer for the introduction of the 11 schools here at the Fort Wayne Sectional. We will be back right after these brief messages with the parade of athletes. You're watching IHSAA Sectional Swimming and Diving on SummitCitySports.com.
The comets falling from the sky, 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 comets falling from the sky.
If you're
We're back here at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium, and we're getting ready to go. Expect a lot of noise during some of these races, as we've got the Carroll girls contingent up to our left and Homestead and Concordia girl and Snyder girls to our right, so it'll be quite loud, especially during the championship finals.
We would ask that you please help us out by recycling your containers and throwing away trash. That would be greatly appreciated. During today's meeting, we would ask that
again, we'd like to thank Liz Kaywood and her staff here at the Natatorium for putting on this sectional.
in the following ways. Please do not bring chairs or coolers into the facility. It is important that
A lot of PA announcements going on here. The teams have lined up. We'll start with the officials. Today's head starter is Jim Simmons. Assistant starter will be Vince Quiones, and stroke and turn judge Bob Dunlop. Schools participating will be the 8 SAC schools, along with Canterbury, Homestead, and Carroll.
We want to wish the best to all swimmers and divers. Swim your fastest and dive your best.
And the parade will begin here shortly and be a quick transition to the 200-yard medley relay, of which we will have 2 heats. In the first heat, we're going to have Bishop Lures and Fort Wayne. And then in the championship final will be Dwenger, Southside, Concordia, Homestead, Carroll, Snyder, Northrop, and Canterbury.
Boys who fly sectional for ready. First, let's meet our officials. Head starter, Jim Simon. Assistant starter, Vince Mahoney.
Dwenger will be the first school lined up. Principal Jason Schiffley, athletic director John Bennett, swim coach Ben Sutton, and their dive coach is Teresa Roberts. Next up, the Bishop Lures Knights. Principal James Huth, athletic director Kevin Godfrey, swim coach Tricia Koob, dive coach Allie Book, assistant coach Pam Lunsford, and assistant coach Catherine Kumeth. The Canterbury Cavaliers will be next. Principal Bob Shantz, athletic director Ken Harkenrider, swim coach Tamara Lombard, assisted by Barb Trevelyan and Dave Stronzak. Carroll Chargers are next. Principal Brandon Bidding, athletic director Dan Ginder, swim coach John Gibson, assisted by Tori Bagan, Kurt Harnsberger, and dive coach Becky McLean. Following Carroll will be the Concordia Cadets. Their principals, Patrick Freking, head of school Michael Tom, athletic director Tim Manigal, boys coach Sean Gibson, John's son, assisted by his wife Danae Gibson, and dive coach Jody Callenbeck. The defending champion Homestead Spartans are next. Park Ginder's their principal, athletic director Joe Updegrove, swim coach Justin Max, assisted by Julie Anderson and dive coach Jill Eckwright. A large Homestead contingent, as well as Carroll, primarily the 2 largest swim programs in the city. Northside Legends are next. Their principal is David West, athletic director Kurt Dorman, head swim coaches Tim Clay, co-coaches are Perry Herzog and Stuart Crocken-Akins. The Northrop Bruins are next. Principal is Jason Wurtzengruder. Athletic director Bob Shank. Swim coach Ben Kaywood, assisted by Keaton Conley. Snyder Panthers are next. Principal Nicole Chisley. Athletic director Steve Zembo. Swim coach Cody Williams. Dive coach Chris Giant. And the assistant dive coach Jimmy Dresser. Following Snyder are the Southside Archers. Principal Carlton Mabel. Athletic director Steve Jones. Swim coach Courtney Smith. Assistant coach Lyndon Narden. And dive coach Andrew Fenstenmacher. Last but not least are the Wayne Generals. Principal John Hauser. Athletic director Gary Raber. Swim coach Whitney Sharon. Assistant coach Jake Sharon. Dive coach Haley Hunley. There are the teams that will participate in this IHSAA Fort Wayne Sectional 6 with hopes and aspirations of swimming for state titles next week at the IU-PUI Natatorium. At this time, we are going to have the national anthem. The teams will take their positions at their respected areas, and shortly we will be headed right into the 200-yard medley relay. Heat number 1 will feature Bishop Lures in lane 4, senior Ben Fink, junior Will Huth, junior Simon Derloschen, and senior Adam Veldman. In lane 5 will be Wayne, led off by junior Joseph Gilson, freshman Logan Peden, senior Oscar Nieto, and junior Amari White. The teams are beginning to take their positions. The officials are in place, and we will be going here right away with the medley relay. Only 10 teams in this one. Northside did not enter a medley relay Thursday night, so therefore we've only have 2 in the consolation heat. In the individual races, we will have 8 in consolation heats and 8 in championship finals. There are 2 alternates who finished 16th and 17th, and if for some reason somebody is unable to participate today, the alternates are here ready to swim. Homestead has won 2 straight sectionals. They got back on the winning track following Carroll, who won 2 in a row in 2014 and 2015. And that win in 2014 by Carroll snapped Homestead's run of 19 straight sectional championships.
Event number 1, boys 200-yard medley relay, heat number 1. This is the starter.
And we're turning it over to the starter for the beginning of the 200-yard medley relay. Four links of the pool here where each swimmer will swim one of the swimming disciplines. They'll have down and back 50 yards. Leading off there in lane 4 for Lures is Ben Fink. Joseph Gilson, the junior from Wayne, has a slight lead at 25. Gilson holds the lead right now over Fink. He's going to hand it off to freshman Logan Peden. And Fink will hand it off to his teammate, junior Will Huth. About dead even there at the exchange. Actually, Lures with a slight lead of 0.06 of a second, but a nice start by the freshman Peden out there in lane 5 has taken a slight lead here in the breaststroke leg. Official right there to watch the turns, make sure everything's legal. Neck and neck are Huth and Peden right now. Wayne trailing Lures slightly as Peden in lane 5 will hand off to the senior Nieto. Huth will hand off to the junior Derloschen. I apologize for all the names that I have and will butcher today, but I'll do my best. Nice start there in lane 4 by Simon Derloschen, the junior from Lures. He's opened up about a 3 body length lead as he heads to home for the final exchange. He'll be turning it off to the senior Adam Veldman for the final leg for the Bishop Lures Knights. 27-56 was the split there for the Butterfly. Large lead for Lures here. They're going to win this consolation heat. Into the water is Amari White for Fort Wayne. See how much ground he can make up. But it's not going to be enough as Bishop Lures Knights are going to take the consolation heat here in the 200-yard medley relay and finish 9th place today. 27:03 on that last 50 for Veldman. Gives the Knights an overall time of 2:09.75. 27:56 for White for his split. And Wayne finishes at 2:16.88. Well, here we go with the championship final. In lane 1 will be Bishop Dwinger. Denario Brinker, a senior. Andre Holly, a junior. Luke Maskell, a senior. Noah Maskell, a freshman. Lane 2, Southside. Jagger Loran, a junior. Micah Serfrost, a sophomore. Chris McDowell, a senior. And Julian Lebanoff, a sophomore. Lane 3, Concordia. Finley Brooks, a freshman. Senior Jaron Armstrong. Senior Evan Krupp. Junior Liam Brooks. Lane 4, Homestead. Senior Trey Cooley will do the backstroke. Senior Bryce Warner the breast. Senior Scott Hodson the fly. And senior Riley Anderson the freestyle. In lane 5's Carroll. Junior Noah Yarian. Jack McCurdy, junior. Timothy Cater, fly. And Tristan DeWitt, a sophomore. Lane 6, sophomore. Zachary Kabulis-Lund. Samuel Trowbridge. Tyler Griffiths. Connor Habish. Lane 7, Northrop. Bryce Hunt. Tyus White. Andrew Prusher. Brian Pruser. And in lane 8, Concordia. Connor Lochner, a senior. Benjamin Axel, a junior. Paul Hemlick, a junior. And Merrick Lamb, a senior. Turn it over to the starter. Homestead, the number 1 seed in this event. They swam a 138.69 on Thursday, followed by Carroll's 140.24. Noah Yarian for Carroll's out to the early lead. He turns first, followed by Homestead's Trey Cooley. Strong underwater work by both, and Yarian comes up with about a body length lead. Noah Yarian to the wall first at 22.70. Trey Cooley at 24.21. Into the water now for Carroll is junior Jack McCurdy. And right away, senior Bryce Warner on the breaststroke is caught up a little bit. McCurdy's first to the wall. It's like third place is Concordia with Jaron Armstrong. McCurdy with about a body length lead on Warner. McCurdy to hand it off to his teammate, senior Timothy Cater, into the water for the butterfly. Scott Hodson on the fly for Homestead. Carroll with about a 1 body length lead. Sectional record is 132.74, set by the 2016 Carroll Chargers. We'll keep an eye on that. Cater with about a body and a half lead on Hodson as he's going to hand off to the sophomore Tristan DeWitt for the free. 22.91 for Carroll, 22.47 for Homestead. Tristan DeWitt for Carroll with about a body length lead on the senior Riley Anderson. Can his sophomore hold off the senior? Anderson making up ground. DeWitt's got about a 3/4 body length lead. Not enough pull for Anderson. And Carroll will win the 200-yard medley relay and advance to state. 132.43 for Carroll, a new sectional record. So right away we're off with some quick swims. The state cut was 137.75. Homestead came in at 132.43, easily eclipsing that mark. Third place went to Concordia, 139.85, and fourth place to Snyder at 142.87. So congratulations to the Carroll Chargers. Junior Noah Yarian, junior Jack McCurdy, senior Timothy Cater, and sophomore Tristan DeWitt, not only with the sectional win, but a new sectional record, eclipsing their teammates from 2 years ago. The all-senior team of Homestead of Trey Cooley, Bryce Warner, Scott Hodson, and Riley Anderson will be joining them next week at the state meet in Indianapolis. Last year in this event, Carroll finished third at state and Homestead sixth. Only Yarian and DeWitt were on the Carroll relay, as they've had a couple graduate. Cooley, Warner, and Anderson were on that Homestead relay that finished sixth. So both teams well under the state cut of 137.75. I would look for both of these schools next week to be in contention for a state title. Well, we're off and running really quick with a new sectional record for Carroll. Assuming there were no disqualifications, we will have the official results here shortly. Okay, Carroll swam that in 132.43, eclipsing the sectional record by 3.34 seconds, 34 hundredths of a second. Homestead was 133.30. So in 8th place we had Canterbury. 7th place, Northrop. In 6th place was Fort Wayne Southside. 5th place was Bishop Dwenger. 4th place, Fort Wayne Snyder. 3rd place was Concordia. Runners-up with a state qualifying time of 1:33.30 was Homestead, Trey Cooley, Bryce Warner, Scott Hodson, and Riley Anderson. And your champions with a new sectional record were from Carroll, Noah Yarian, Jack McCurdy, Timothy Cater, and Tristan DeWitt. That will give Carroll the early lead, 40-34.
In second place, with a state qualifying time of 1:33.3, Homestead.
That was a relay Carroll really needed to get going to start this competition. Really wanted to get that 6-point lead there.
Boys 200-yard medley relay champions with a new sectional record of 1:32.43.
So I had this, with the exception of diving, I had the meet scored out based on the preliminary results. And Homestead was a 19-point ahead of Carroll without diving based on what went on Thursday night. Well, we've already had a 12-point swing there, and that Carroll gets the 40 and Homestead the 34. So this meet has immediately tightened up as we head into event 2, the boys 200-yard freestyle. Swimming in the 200-yard freestyle heat 1 will be Charlie Burton from Bishop Lures in lane 1, Andrew Prusser from Northrop in lane 2, sophomore Jacob Burton from Snyder in lane 3, freshman Noah Maskell from Bishop Dwenger in 4, junior Dylan DeLong from Northside in lane 5, junior Joshua Gagline, a junior from Concordia in lane 6, sophomore Nolan McCurris, a sophomore from Snyder in lane 7, and junior Mason Hatfield from Northrop in lane 8. Come off the blocks, a slight lead for Jacob Burton in lane 3 from Snyder. 8 links of the pool here for the 200-yard freestyle. See little different approaches from swimmers, mostly a sprint, but sometimes guys take a little different speed in each of their 50s. Looks like it's going to be Burton at the wall first. He makes the turn at 26.95, followed by DeLong at 27.22, and Gagline in lane 6 at 27.73. The sophomore from Snyder, Jacob Burton, continues to lead as we hit the 75-yard mark, followed closely by the junior from Northside, Dylan DeLong in lane 5. Looks like DeLong's taken slight lead as we come to the 100-yard mark and the halfway point of this race. Dylan's split for that 50 was 30.2 and Jacobs was 31.3. Noah Maskell in lane 4 with the 30.51s beginning to make up some ground. But right now it's all Dylan DeLong with about a 1 body length lead in lane 5, the junior from Northside. Out there in lane 6 is Joshua Gagline from Concordia trying to make a charge. But it's DeLong first, Maskell second, Burton in third as we come to the final 50 yards of this race. DeLong with a body length lead on lane 4, Noah Maskell, who's got about a body length on lane 3, Jacob Burton. DeLong makes the turn. His time on Thursday was 2 minutes flat, 0.25 seconds. He's trying to exceed that today. Dylan DeLong will be the first to the wall. And he did. He beat his preliminary time of 2:00:25. Comes in with a time of 1:58:44. Second place, Jacob Burton at 2:02:84. Third place, Noah Maskell, 2:02:86. Joshua Gagline, fourth at 2:04:30. Andrew Prusser is fifth, 2:12:90. Charlie Burton, 6th, 2:16.86. Noah McCurris, 7th, 2:18.46. Mason Hatfield, 8th, 2:19.46. We will set the lineup for the championship final once the swimmers get into the water. The defending champion is Julian Norman from Homestead. He will be swimming in lane 4. He is also the sectional record holder at 141.48. State cut of 143.10 is what the swimmers are shooting for, so they can make it to next week in Indianapolis. The official is talking to the Bishop Dwenger coach for some reason. I don't know if there's a problem with Noah Maskell's swim or not. It's difficult on the freestyle to have a problem. You'd have to either false start or miss a wall or touch the bottom of the pool. And I don't think he missed a wall, and he didn't touch the bottom of the pool. So I don't know if he was explaining a false start or not, but we'll find that information out shortly. They're called to the block here for the 200-yard freestyle championship heat. Swimming in lane 1, sophomore from Concordia, Jacob Magali. Lane 2, a senior from Carroll, Matthew Woolham. Lane 3, a sophomore from Homestead, Zachary Zishka. Lane 4, the defending champion, a junior from Homestead, Julian Norman. Lane 5, sophomore from Carroll, Christian Siri. Lane 6, a freshman from Homestead, Spencer Corin. Lane 7, a junior from Carroll, Josh Cruz. And in lane 8, a senior from Concordia, Nathan Walls. Norman first to the wall at 22.91, followed by Siri's 23.43. It's Norman, Siri, and Zishka in the middle of the pool, 1, 2, 3. Norman makes the turn at 75 with about a half a body length lead on Siri in 5 and his teammate Zishka in 3. As they come to the wall at 100, 25.66 for Norman, 25.75 for Zishka. He's picking up the pace. Siri's in 3rd. 4th place right now is Woolham in lane 2. Julian Norman leads, followed by Zach Zishka, Christian Siri, Matt Woolham, and Spencer Korn. Norman first to the wall, Zishka 2nd, Siri 3rd, Woolham 4th, Korn 5th, Cruz 6th. Julian Norman with about a body length lead as he comes to the final turn. 141.48 is Norman's record from last year. Julian Norman's going to win. Zach Zishka from Homestead 2nd. Norman first to the wall. Zishka 2nd, Siri 3rd, Woolham 4th, Korn 5th. 141.57, slightly off his record-setting time. Zach Zishka will be joining him at state next week, and Zach did swim under the state qualifying time. Christian Siri about 1.1 second over the qualifying time, so he'll have to wait and see if the field's filled out. Advancement to state is the first place sectional winner. So Julian Norman going to state because he won the sectional. There are 20 sectionals in the state, so 20 automatic qualifiers. Anyone else who equals or betters the state time standard in this event was 143.10, of which Zach Zishka did, will be also going to state. If for some reason there are not 12 people that swim the state cut time, the next fastest number of contestants in the state that gets the field to 32 will fill it out. If there is a tie for 32nd place, the tie stands and both swimmers advance to state. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So right now, Fort Wayne Sectional for sure is sending Julian Norman and his teammate Zach Zishka to the state meet. Christian Siri will wait for times to post from other sectionals across the state to see if he will be joining them. So in that event, Homestead taking 1st, 2nd, and 5th. Add 51 points to their total, and they now sit at 85. Carroll with 3rd, 4th, and 6th place finishes. get 44 points, and they are at 84. So it's 85-84 Homestead right now. The scoring breakdown goes like this. First place, you get 20 points. Second, 17. Third, 16. Fourth, 15. Fifth, 14. Sixth, 13. Seventh, 12. Eighth, 11th. Ninth place, which is the winner of the consolation heat, no matter what his time is. He can still go to state with the state qualifying time, but the best he can finish is ninth, gets 9 points. 10th place gets 7. 11th, 6. 12th, 5. 13th, 4. 14th, 3. 15th, 2, and 16th place 1. Relays are doubled, meaning 40, 34, 32, etc. So that's why Carroll had the 40-34 lead after the medley relay. 85-84 right now, Homestead with the lead. Officials are confirming the results. And momentarily we will have the presentation of the awards for the 200-yard freestyle. Stroke and turns judge Bob Dunlop is at the table discussing something with the official.
Bob, can you give me that table, please? The official, like right across from you. Jim was just talking about that.
Both officials are talking to Liz, who's the meet director. The other two, Jim Simmons and Vince Quiones, are discussing something with Liz Kaywood, who is ultimately responsible for putting in the results and the places. Conversation here for the 200-yard freestyle. Usually you see conversations like this for backstroke or breaststroke or butterfly or maybe even relays when exchanges are a little early. Conference has broken up. The officials are coming back to their place, and we shall have the announcement of the top 8 finishers momentarily. Homestead again takes the lead 85-84 following that event. Strong finishes by Norman and Ziska vault them to the lead. Still more conversation going on between officials and coaches. Let's hope this isn't a trend for this meet. We've had it 2 events, and twice we've had officials and coaches conferring. Not sure what the holdup is. Again, officials and Liz Kaywood are talking to Ben Sutton, the Bishop Dwinger coach. Bishop Dwinger didn't even have a swimmer in that event, so I wonder if they're still talking about something that happened in the first heat. Again, Homestead, the 2-time defending champion of this sectional. Carroll trying to unseat them as they did in 2014 and repeated in 2015. But no easy task. Homestead is a veteran team with 5 seniors and 3 juniors. Well, we're ready for the awards for the 200-yard freestyle. Well, the final heat is official, as we had said. 8th place goes to Concordia's Nathan Walls. 7th place is Concordia's Jacob McGully. 6th place goes to Carroll's Josh Cruz. 5th place, Homestead's Spencer Kern. 4th place, the senior from Carroll, Matt Wollum. 3rd place, Carroll sophomore Christian Siri. 2nd place with the state qualifying time is sophomore from Homestead, Zachary Zishka. And your champion defends his crown is a junior from Homestead, Julian Norman, in a winning time of 1:41.57, just 0.09 of a second off of his sectional record from last season. I'm not sure that's all Julian had for this event. I think they're holding a little bit back for next week. He had enough, obviously, to win today and a great time, almost a sectional record. But I'm guessing he's got his sights set on bigger and better things next week, in that he finished 4th last year at the state meet last year. So I hope he's looking for a state title as well. So 2 events, and we got 3 competitors looking for state titles next week. As we head to the boys' 200-yard individual medley, in lane 1, junior from Dwenger, Andre Holly. Lane 2, a freshman from Snyder, Samuel Trowbridge. Lane 3, another freshman from Snyder, Benjamin Whitehill. Lane 4, a freshman from Concordia, Elliot Lochner. Lane 5, the elder statesman of this group, a senior from Northside, Joshua Barber. Lane 6, a junior from Snyder, Bo Trowbridge. Lane 7, another senior from Bishop Dwenger, Luke Maskill. And in lane 8, a junior from Northrop, Mikhail Fisher. 3 freshmen in this race, so good things to come. And we've got 2 freshmen in the championship final. So looks like the IM is going to be stacked for years to come here in Fort Wayne. Most of the swimmers that you see today are full-time swimmers. They're club swimmers during the non-high school season. So they'll go to the state meet next week. Following week, anybody with a divisional cut will swim club divisionals and in club state, and then they'll take a little time off, and right after spring break, they'll come back and hit the pool for long course. So these guys probably in the water 48, 49 weeks out of the year. Elliot Lochner from Concordia, the freshman, with the 25-yard lead. Out there in lane 6, Bo Trowbridge from Snyder's looking strong as well. As good turn by Trowbridge as he takes the lead here in the butterfly leg, followed closely by Barber from Northside in lane 5. It's Trowbridge and Barber to the wall. Barber first at 27.35. Trowbridge follows at 27.40. Good turn by Trowbridge, has him out in the lead here in the backstroke league. It's Trowbridge followed by Barber in lane 5. Lochner in lane 4 and Whitehill in lane 3 rounds out your top 4. Bo Trowbridge out in the lead. His prelim time was 2 minutes, 20.76 seconds. 2:17.14 for Barber and 2:13.16 for Lochner. Trowbridge first to the wall, followed by Barber. Benjamin Whitehill in lane 3, the freshman from Snyder, has taken over 3rd place. Elliot Lochner from Concordia 4th. Samuel Trowbridge, a freshman from Snyder, is in 5th place. Bo Trowbridge from Snyder, the junior, leads right now as we head for home in the breaststroke. Looks like lane 4, Elliot Lochner is picking up the pace. Trowbridge with a slight lead on Lochner, and Whitehill follows. Trowbridge in lane 6 will take the lead at 1:50. Trowbridge time through the breaststroke leg is 1:39 flat. Lochner was 1:39.91, so Elliot Lochner has 91/100ths of a second to try to make up in this 50-yard freestyle. It's Bo Trowbridge followed by Elliot Lochner and Benjamin Whitehill, 1, 2, 3. Trowbridge has about a 1 body length lead with 10 yards to go. Lochner coming on strong. Trowbridge at the wall first. Lochner finishes 2nd. 3rd place goes to Benjamin Whitehill. 4th place, Joshua Barber. 5th place, Samuel Trowbridge. 6th place, Andre Halley. 7th place goes to Luke Maskill. And 8th place goes to Mikhail Fisher. Now let's set the lane assignments for the championship of the boys 200-yard IM. In lane 1, Jacob Leffers, a sophomore from Homestead. In lane 2, Cameron Luarte, a freshman from Homestead. In lane 3, Finley Brooks, a freshman from Concordia. Lane 4, Bryce Warner, a senior from Homestead. Lane 5, Tristan DeWitt, a sophomore from Carroll. Lane 6, Timothy Cater, a senior from Carroll. Lane 7, Jack McCurdy, a junior from Carroll. And in lane 8, Evan Kropf, a senior from Concordia Lutheran. Last year's champion and record holder, Jackson Kent, is now off swimming at the University of Missouri. Jackson Kent, 7 sectional records, 16 sectional championships in his 16 swims. Jackson Kent won a sectional championship in every race he swam in 4 years in the sectional, and now swims for University of Missouri. Kent's record is 151.48. It takes a 155.25 to get to state, and I expect more than a few swimmers, at least a few, maybe even 4 swimmers to eclipse that mark in this race. Early it looks like it's DeWitt, followed by Warner. Tristan DeWitt, the sophomore from Carroll, gets to the wall first, followed by his teammate senior Timothy Cater. Backstroke leg here. Another stroke that DeWitt is strong in. Actually, DeWitt's strong in all 4 of these strokes, so this is a great race for him. It's DeWitt followed by Cater and Warner, 1, 2, 3, as they make the backstroke turn. Out there in lane 7 is Jack McCurdy, and he's threatening to take over 3rd place. Tristan DeWitt, the sophomore, first to the wall, followed by Timothy Cater, Bryce Warner, and Jack McCurdy. DeWitt with the lead, and it's anyone's guess as who's in second. Looks like Jack McCurdy from Carroll has taken over second, and Timothy Cater is in 3rd. Again, state qualifying time 155.25. It's DeWitt in 5, McCurdy in 7, Cater in 6, Warner in 4. Carroll 1, 2, 3 as they head to the last 50-yard freestyle. DeWitt, McCurdy, Cater, and actually Cameron Luarde is in 4th. He's passed Bryce Warner. McCurdy making a charge. It's DeWitt and McCurdy, 1, 2, Cater 3. And great turn by DeWitt. He's got about a half a body length lead and about 8 inches in height on McCurdy. It's DeWitt coasting to the wall for the win. McCurdy second. Cater 3rd. Carroll goes 1, 2, 3. Cameron Luarde 4th. Bryce Warner 5th. Jacob Leffers 6th. Finley Brooks 7th. Evan Kropf in 8th. Tristan DeWitt just shattered the sectional record with a time of 150.79. Jackson Kent held it for a year, but Tristan DeWitt, the sophomore from Carroll, now holds the sectional record. State time was 155.25. We had 5 swimmers qualify for state. DeWitt 150.79, McCurdy 151.62, Cater 153.91, Luarde 154.70, and Warner 155.03. 5, count them, 5 swimmers from the Fort Wayne sectional will be heading to the state meet next week. And again, just like the first 2 events, we're going to have people competing for state titles next year. Actually, last year, DeWitt, who just set the sectional record, finished 15th as a freshman, and Warner, as a junior last year, finished 10th. I expect championship swims from some Carroll swimmers, and some possible, all 5 of those guys could be looking at top 16, top 8 finishes next week. It will be exciting for Fort Wayne swimming as Carroll and Homestead are sending 5 swimmers to the state meet in the 200-yard IM. With their 1, 2, 3 finish, Carroll scores 53 points for the event. Homestead finishes 4th, 5th, and 6th, and that scores them 42 points. So we've got Carroll right now with a 10-point lead in the event, in this sectional, 137 to 127. Wow, that's all I can say about that race. That's got to be the greatest IM ever performed in Fort Wayne's Helen P. Brown Natatorium. Not one of those guys, 5th place, has a state cut. You can't be hanging your head if you get a state cut. Congratulations to your top 8 finishers. 8th place from Concordia, Evan Kropf. 7th place from Concordia, Finley Brooks. 6th place from 6th place from Homestead, Jacob Leffers. 5th place from Homestead, Bryce Warner. 4th place from Homestead, Cam Luarde. 3rd place from Carroll, Timothy Cater. 2nd place from Carroll, Jack McCurdy. And your champion with a new sectional record, sophomore Tristan DeWitt from Carroll High School. Folks, he's only a sophomore. Tristan DeWitt, the sophomore from Carroll, with a new sectional record of 150.79 seconds, about 3/4 of a second faster than last year's record. Tristan will also be competing. As a matter of fact, Tristan and Jack will be going head-to-head in the breaststroke later, so that's where a lot of their ground was made up, was in that stroke, so that'll be interesting at the end of the meet when Tristan and Jack, the teammates, go head-to-head in the breaststroke again. Well, now we go from that to the quickest race we've got, the 50-yard freestyle. We'll set the lanes right now because this will be quick. Lane 1, Brian Prusser from Northrop. 2 is Chris McDowell from Southside. 3, Taylor Griffiths from Snyder. 4, Jordan Kanicki from Fort Wayne, Carroll. 5, Frederick Henderson from Snyder. 6, Denario Brinker from Dwenger. 7th, Jaron Armstrong from Concordia. And 8th, Brennan Reinhardt from Northrop. Important race here for Kanicki in 6, being from Carroll. The 9 points he wants to get by finishing 9th place. Looks like it's Kanicki and Henderson. Henderson with a slight lead in lane 5. Frederick Henderson, the freshman from Snyder, is going to take the consolation heat in 23-21. Jordan Kanicki second, 23-38. McDowell's third with 24-17. Griffiths fourth. Brinker 5th, Armstrong 6th, Prusser 7th, and Reinhardt 8th. Here we go with your championship final. In lane 1, sophomore from Homestead, Young Song. Lane 2, a junior from Carroll, Samuel Woltman. Lane 3, a senior from Snyder, Jacob Miller. Lane 4, a senior from Homestead, Scott Hodson. Lane 5, a senior from Homestead, Riley Anderson. Lane 6, a junior from Concordia, Liam Brooks. Lane 7, a senior from Carroll, Kyle Kressel. And in lane 8, a senior from Concordia, Maxwell Emler. State cut 21:59. Sectional record was set by Ryan Housing at 20.71 back in 2016. Ryan swimming for Yale right now. Looks like Hodson and Anderson are off 1-2. It's Hodson and Anderson in 4 and 5 making the turn 1-2. As they head to home, it's Hodson, Anderson. It's Anderson at 20.99. Scott Hodson at 21.09. Third place goes to Jacob Miller, 21.35. Fourth place, Liam Brooks, 21.98. Fifth place, Sam Woltman, 22.29. Sixth place, Kyle Kressel, 22.63. Seventh place, Yi Young Song with a 22.75. And in eighth place, Maxwell Emler with 23.65. 21.59 sends him to state. So from there, we now have the champion Riley Anderson along with his teammates Scott Hodson and Jacob Miller from Snyder. 3 Fort Wayne swimmers headed to the state meet next week to join their 5 IMers, 2 200 freestylers, 2 200-yard medley relays. Fort Wayne is going to be well represented at the state meet next week. Just a quick shout out right there to senior Scott Hodson in lane 4 from Homestead, who has his sister watching this meet today, and she's over in Germany tuning in on SummitCitySports.com to watch her brother swim. Last year in this meet, Riley Anderson finished 11th and Scott Hodson finished 15th. So those two are headed back looking for championship finals. The senior Jacob Miller from Snyder will be joining them. And Liam Brooks with his 21.98 will also be heading to state. Homestead, with their 1-2-7 finish, scores 49 points in the event. Carroll, with a 5-6-10 finish, scores 34 points in the meet. So now after 4 events, Homestead has a 176 to 171 lead here in the sectional. A lot of personal best swims right there in that race. So it's 176, 171. Homestead has the lead right now on Carroll. We will be heading to our diving competition here shortly. What will happen is we're going to have the divers warm up. Then we're going to have them complete their last 3 dives. And then we'll get back to the swimming competition. So congratulations to our champion, Riley Anderson, and to Scott Hodson and Jacob Miller, who will be heading to state. Liam Brooks will be watching times come in tonight to see if his 21.98 was good enough. Well, thus far, we've had automatic qualifiers from Carroll and Homestead in the 200-yard medley relay, Julian Norman, Zach Zishka in the 200-yard freestyle, Tristan DeWitt, Jack McCurdy, Tim Cater, Cameron Luarde, and Bryce Warner in the 200-yard individual medley, and Riley Anderson, Scott Hodson, and Jacob Miller in the 50-yard freestyle. Congratulations to all those swimmers, and good luck next week at state. Good luck to anybody that's sitting on the bubble right now that might be joining them. But as I said, Fort Wayne is going to be well represented next week with some opportunities to bring home some high finishes in the state meet. Again, 176, 171 right now. This broadcast is being brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports. Like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. Our elite team of experts in orthopedic surgery, athletic rehabilitation, nutrition, and sports performance training offers athletes coordinated care and instant access at the new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic inside the Parkview Sport One Fieldhouse. Also, ParkviewSportsMedicine.com is the new go-to for local sports with scores and highlights for all area schools. Parkview Sports Medicine wants to celebrate the accomplishments of athletes on and off the field. Check it out at ParkviewSportsMedicine.com. To make Parkview Sports Medicine part of your team, give us a call at 260-266-4007 or log in to ParkviewSportsMedicine.com. Big Eyed Fish supports SummitCitySports.com and Fort Wayne area athletics and has been around the Northeast area for generations. Originally located at historic 1502 North Wells Street, you can also visit their express locations at 3001 Hillegas Road and their express north location at 10380 Leo Road. Big Eyed Fish has a 4.3 star rating out of 5 with over 215 Google reviews. Find us at originalbigeyedfish.com and bigeyedfishexpress.com. Like our Facebook pages for updated promotions. Enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. Again, through 4 events, Homestead leads Carroll 176 to 171. As the divers prepare warm up for their event, we'll take a break. You are watching IHSAA High School Swimming and Diving Sectionals on SummitCitySports.com.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. the same night the pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
The Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse is a state-of-the-art facility that has become the home of sports in our region. Also the home of Parkview Sports Medicine with our new Ortho Express Clinic, AWP Sports, plus all kinds of club activity from basketball, volleyball, futsal, pickleball, and more. The Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. Check it out today.
There's Ryan looking to center into the slot to Esther, but it's broken up by Scott. He shoots, hits, scores!
Now the sticks are up. And now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne Hockey.
McClung with the deke.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
At Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. Our elite team of experts in orthopedic surgery, athletic rehabilitation, nutrition, and sports performance coordinate your care all along the way. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on.
It's the comets. Comets falling from the sky. 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 Comets falling from the sky.
If you're an athlete, you never know when an injury might happen. That's why Parkview Sports Medicine has made the new Ortho Express Clinic. Located inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, the Ortho Express Clinic has everything that an athlete would need, from physicians to athletic rehab and sports performance. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
Parkview Sports Medicine continues to lead the way in Northeast Indiana with our new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic, offering direct access to physicians and Saturday morning clinics that are convenient for you. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on.
Get mad about blue. Get mad about your Fort Wayne Mad Ants. When looking for the best basketball action in town, it's the Go to FortWayneMadAnts.com for the complete game schedule. See your Fort Wayne Mad Ant in action. Get mad about blue.
If you're an athlete or the parent of one, you want to check out Parkview Sports Medicine. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, our expert physicians at ONE, and the area's only specialized athletic rehab. To learn more, go to ParkviewSportsMedicine.com and click on the Services tab.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Craw.
Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
AWP Sports finds the athlete's purpose beyond athletics, the industry leader in sports performance for over 10 years in Northeast Indiana. You can find out more by clicking on the Services tab at the top.
Can you frame up those divers?
We're back here at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium where the divers continue to warm up. Through 4 events, Homestead with a 176-171 lead. That is unofficial. Thank you to Austin Kressel for sitting here figuring up the results. We'll check his math. He was spot on in girls sectional. We'll see if he can do the same in boys sectional. Let's set the diving lineup for you here that we're going to have. Again, divers completed 8 dives this morning. They've got 3 more to do this afternoon, and then we will determine a champion. That champion doesn't go directly to state. The top 4 actually go to regionals diving competition at Fishers High School. There will be 4 regional competitions with 20 divers. And the top 8 from each regional advance to state next week. Right now, our diving order today will be James Swinehart, a senior from Homestead who currently sits in 6th place. Isaac Hunter, a sophomore from Homestead who is currently in 4th place with 261.55 points. Tyler Kaiser dives 3rd, a freshman from Snyder. Diving 4th, a sophomore from Southside, Julian Lebanoff. 5th diver, Hunter Fielder, a Southside freshman. 6th diver, Josh Wolf, a senior from Dwenger. 7th, Charlie Burton, a senior from Lures. Our leader dives 8th, Connor Mahavix, a sophomore from Snyder. He currently sits with 323.0 points. 9th diver, Caleb Keener, a senior from Carroll. 10th will be Alex Fieldler, a senior from Southside. 11th place is Nate Pendergrast, a junior from Lures, who is in 2nd place at 298.0. 12th diver, Matthew Hayward, a sophomore from Concordia, who is in 3rd place with 283.5 points. 13th diver, Spencer Collier, a Homestead freshman, who is in 5th place with 257.55 points. 14th diver, James Toderen, a freshman from Carroll, who is in 8th. And our 15th diver is Braden Buzz, a Carroll freshman, who is in 12th place. Again, 3 dives remain for each diver. There will be 7 judges judging the dives, ranging in score from anywhere from incomplete dive to a 10. We will take the top 2 scores and the bottom 2 scores and throw them out and average the middle 3 scores multiplied by the dive's degree of difficulty, and that is how diving is scored. Each dive will add on to its previous total, and after 11 dives, we'll have a sectional champion, and we'll know the 4 headed to regionals. We'll be back once again here in a little bit once the divers get done warming up to show you all the diving competition. Again, today's broadcast is being brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports. Like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
The Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse is a state-of-the-art facility that has become the home of sports in our region. Also the home of Parkview Sports Medicine with our new Ortho Express Clinic, AWP Sports, plus all kinds of club activity from basketball, volleyball, futsal, pickleball, and more. The Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. Check it out today.
There's Ryan looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hits, scores!
Now the sticks are up. And now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne Hockey.
McClung with the deke.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
At Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. Our elite team of experts in orthopedic surgery, athletic rehabilitation, nutrition, and sports performance coordinate your care all along the way. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on.
It's the comets. Comets falling from the sky. Comets falling from the sky. From the sky. Comets falling 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 from the sky.
If you're an athlete, you never know when an injury might happen. That's why Parkview Sports Medicine has made the new Ortho Express Clinic. Located inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, the Ortho Express Clinic has everything that an athlete would need, from physicians to athletic rehab and sports performance. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
Parkview Sports Medicine continues to lead the way in Northeast Indiana with our new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic, offering direct access to physicians and Saturday morning clinics that are convenient for you. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on.
Get mad about blue. Get mad about your Fort Wayne Mad Ants. When looking for the best basketball action in town, it's the Go to FortWayneMadAnts.com for the complete game schedule. See your Fort Wayne Mad Ants in action. Get mad about blue.
If you're an athlete or the parent of one, you want to check out Parkview Sports Medicine. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, our expert physicians at O&E, and the area's only specialized athletic rehab. To learn more, go to ParkviewSportsMedicine.com and click on the Services tab.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot. Here he comes. And look at his cross.
Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
AWP Sports finds the athlete's purpose beyond athletics. The industry leader in sports performance for over 10 years in Northeast Indiana. You can find out more by clicking on the Services tab at the top.
We're back here at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where today's IHSAA Sectional 6 Boys Swimming and Diving Championships is being held. We're getting ready to go into the finals of Event 5, the diving. 15 competitors, each will have 3 dives. First up on the board will be James Swinehart from Homestead, currently in 6th place with 249.5. James is going to dive a 52-23D. A back 1 somersault with 1 1/2 twist free, 2.3 degree of difficulty. James looks to the judges for his scoring. Scores range in the 4.5 to 5.5 range. Next up, Isaac Hunter from Homestead, 401B, inward dive, pike position, 1.5 degree of difficulty. Isaac was in 4th place heading into the final 3 dives. We're unable to see the judges flash their score, so we have to wait till they flash up on the scoreboard. .24 for that dive for Isaac. Tyler Kaiser, a Snyder freshman, on the board. 102C. That was a forward 1 somersault in the tuck position with a 1.4 degree of difficulty for Tyler. Tyler came into the finals in 11th place with 177.85 points. .21 points. Julian Lebanoff, a sophomore from Southside High School. 54-21D. Inward, 1 somersault, 1/2 twist in the free position, 1.9 degree of difficulty. Scores in the 4 to 5 range there for Julian. Again, we'll throw out the top 2, bottom 2, add the 3 together in the middle, multiply by the degree of difficulty. 25-65 for Julian. Hunter Fielder, a freshman from Southside, currently in 13th place. .202C, a back 1 somersault tuck, 1.5. Hunter had 143.5 heading into that dive, was in 13th place. Again, the top 4 move on to regionals next Tuesday evening at Fishers, where from there the top 8 of 20 will move on to state. 21.75 for that dive for Hunter. Josh Wolf, a senior from Bishop Dwenger, 402C. Inward, 1 somersault tuck. Josh came into that dive with a 131.95 in 15th place. Scores in the 5 range there. Gives him an award, a 24 for that dive. Next up, Charlie Burton, senior from Lures High School, who is currently in 14th place. 201A, back dive straight. 1.7 degree of difficulty. Charlie came into that dive in 14th place at 141.45. Couple 6s thrown in there for Charlie on that dive. 28.05. Connor Mahavix, our leader from Snyder, a sophomore, 323 points headed into this 401B inward dive pike. Doesn't look like Connor will lose his lead after that dive. 7s and 7.5s for Connor. Gives him an award of $33.75 for that dive. Caleb Keener, a senior from Carroll, who is in 10th place with 183 on the board, performing a 204C. Back 2 somersault tuck. Little more difficult dive there with a 2.2 degree of difficulty. Twos and threes for Caleb on that dive. Alex Fiedler, a senior from Southside. 7th place, 226.25 coming into this dive. 13.20 for Caleb on the previous dive. 51.21D. Back, 1 somersault, 1 half twist, free. Alex trying to improve on his 7th place positioning. Four and a halves and fives on the dive. Nate Pendergrass, the Lures Junior, next up. 401B, inward dive pike. Nate was in 2nd place heading into that dive, 25 points behind Connor Mahavix, who had a very nice dive. Connor now sits at 356.75. Let's see where this dive takes Nate's score. 323.50 now for Nate. Matthew Hayward, a sophomore from Concordia, currently in 3rd place. .201B, that was a back dive in the pike position with a 1.6 degree of difficulty. Matthew was only 14.5 points behind Nate headed into that dive in 3rd place. Nate's at 323.5. Matthew now is at 313.9. Spencer Collier, a freshman from Homestead, currently in 5th place. Again, that was the 401B. We've seen that one from a couple other competitors. An inward dive pike. Well performed by the freshman from Homestead. And the judges' scores confirm that with 6.5 to 7.5 scores. James Totterin, a freshman from Carroll, currently in 8th place. Doing a reverse dive tuck, 301C. Might have been a little nerves there for the freshman. A lot of people up here in the stands. Probably not used to diving in front of this big of a crowd. The stands are pretty well full from probably about 80% of this 50-meter pool. The stands run from one end to the other. Again, we're only using a 25-yard pool, so there's some people down there, down in the warm-up pool that are looking to their left to watch the competition. No score there for James on that dive. So he remains at 202.35. Braden Buzz from Carroll, another freshman, 201A, back dive straight. Scores range in the 3.5 to 4.5 range for Braden. That completes our 9th round of diving. 2 more dives for each competitor. 182.55 now for Braden Buzz. Through 9 dives, Connor Mahavix is our leader at 356.75. 2nd place, Nate Pendergrass, 323.50. 3rd place, Matthew Hayward, 319.9. And in 4th place is Spencer Collier from Homestead at 289.05. James Swinehart, the senior from Homestead, set to complete his 10th dive, a 104C, back forward 2 somersault tuck. Completed nicely by James. That 2.2 degree of difficulty. He's in 6th place headed into this. Not too far behind, only 5 points behind 4th. That dive right there could propel him into the top 4, but we'll see as everybody else completes their 10th dive. 42.9, 326.9 for James through 10 dives. Isaac Hunter, Homestead sophomore, 5th place coming into this dive. 303C, a reverse 1 1/2 somersault tuck. 2.1 degree of difficulty there. So the Homestead divers have coming out in the 10th round with degrees of difficulties over 2. You nail dives like that with the multiplying it by the 2.1, it can really shoot you up the standings. 4.5s to 5.5s there for the score for Isaac. Brings his total for 10 dives to 317.05. Tyler Kaiser, a Snyder freshman on the board. 5111A. It was a forward dive with 1/2 twist in the straight position with a 1.8 degree of difficulty. Scores in the 4 to 5.5 range for Tyler. Next up on the board will be Julian Lebanoff, a Southside sophomore, performing a 203C, a back 1 1/2 somersault in the tuck position. Difficult dive there, but it was completed by Julian. Scores in the 2 and 2.5 ranges. Hunter Fielder, a Southside freshman, up next. 302C for Hunter, a reverse 1 somersault tuck, 1.6 degree of difficulty. Four and a half to 5.5s for Hunter on that dive. Josh Wolf from Fort Wayne Bishop Dwinger. 101C forward dive, tuck position. Josh doesn't waste any time. He gets up there and goes. Josh was at 155.95 coming into that dive. Scores in the 3 to 4 range for him. Charlie Burton, senior from Bishop Lures. Charlie will be doing a 403C, an inward 1 1/2 somersault tuck, 200.2 degree of difficulty. Not quite enough height there to get the legs back up and enter the water straight, but still completed. Scores in the 2 to 3 range. We'll give him an award of 18.7 for the dive. Here's our leader, Connor Mahavix, the sophomore from Snyder. 201C, back dive tuck. Connor has about a 33-point lead headed into the 10th round. And scores in the 5.5 to 6 range will not hurt him holding on to that lead. Caleb Keener, senior from Carroll. Caleb will be doing a 51.21D. It was a forward 1 somersault with a 1/2 twist in the free position. Mostly scores in the 5 and 5.5 range for Caleb. Alex Fiedler, senior from Southside, our 10th diver in the 10th round. Current position, 251.75 is his current score. 202C, back one somersault, tuck position. Five and a halves for Alex, and there's a 6 snuck in there for him. On the board, Nate Pendergrass, currently in second place, a junior from Lures. A reverse 1.5 somersault tuck, 1.5 somersault tuck, 303C, 2.1. Little delay here in the judges' scores. They're going to give Nate another crack at it. As he made the approach, there was a whistle in the stands. And that is very distracting when you're concentrating trying to dive. So getting another opportunity to complete the 303C. Reverse 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.1 degree of difficulty. A little more quiet that time and a little better performance by Nate. I'm sure it cannot be easy, one, doing this in the first place, let alone coming up and doing it a second time after there was a distraction. So give the young man credit for stepping up there and nailing that dive. And 318, 385, 358.15, he kind of actually narrows the gap between him and Connor Mahavix. Matthew Hayward, Concordia sophomore. 303C, a reverse 1.5 somersault tuck position. So the top divers here are bringing out the more difficult dives as we get in the 10th round. Because, again, like I said, if you nail a dive with a 2.2, 2.3 degree of difficulty, your score can really take off. And that can be the difference between finishing your season and heading to regionals. That's Spencer Collier, a freshman from Homestead, who was in 4th place leading into this 10th round. Spencer did a 103B, a forward 1.5 somersault pike position, and he's got 7.5s and even an 8 in there. And Spencer wasn't that far behind 3rd place. Let's see if this dive's going to be able to help him capture third. Not quite. Spencer still sits in 4th place. James Totterin from Carroll, a freshman. Forward 1 somersault, tuck position. Interesting there. We had a score as high as 6 and as low as 3.5. But, again, the top 2 and bottom 2 are thrown out, and the middle 3 are added together and multiplied by the degree of difficulty. Braden Buzz, freshman from Carroll, will end our 10th round of diving with a 51.22D. So forward 1 somersault, 1 twist, free position. Got in 4s and 4.5s. Here we're going to head into our final round of diving with Connor Mahavix, our current leader, at 383. Nate Pendergrass, 358.15 is second. Matthew Hayward from Concordia, third, 343.30. And fourth is Spencer Collier at 328.15. James Swihart is in fifth place at 329.690. And here he is to perform his final dive. Well done by James there. That 302C, a reverse one somersault tuck. Scores are in the 4 to 5 range. That's James' final dive. 346.90 for James. Isaac Hunter, the sophomore from Homestead, sits at 317.05 coming into this dive. A 104B, forward two somersault pike, 2.3. That dive right there with the 2.3 degree of difficulty and scores of 6 and 6.5 are probably going to push Isaac past his teammate James. As the scores tabulate, 359.60. Isaac Hunter is now our leader. James Swinehart second. On the board, Tyler Kaiser, a Snyder freshman. Reverse one somersault tuck for Tyler. As a freshman, his first sectional competition, obviously, so see how he feels about his performance. 247.45 for Tyler Kaiser. Julian Lebanoff from Southside on the board. A 104C, forward two somersault tuck. Nice job by Julian. Julian's got an uncanny resemblance to a college friend of mine named Frank. It's just like I'm turn the clock back 30 years and see Frank on the board. Julian's scores are 4.5 to 5. 273.75 puts him in third place currently with 4 divers completed. Hunter Fielder, a Southside freshman, on the board. Nice dive by Hunter there to complete his freshman season. So through 5 competitors of the 15, right now Isaac Hunter from House Homestead leads, James Swinehart in second. But our top 4 performers are still yet to, through 10 rounds, are still yet to go. Josh Wolf, the Dwenger senior. 303C, a reverse 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.1. I give the kid credit. The senior went out with a difficult dive. He didn't shy away from it. Now on the board, Charlie Burton, a senior from Fort Wayne Lures. Connor Mahavix, our current leader through 10 rounds, a sophomore from Snyder at 383.00 on the board, performing a dive with a 2.3 degree of difficulty. Well done That's your leader, folks. That's who everyone's going to be chasing. The last 7 divers are chasing that young man. 6.5s and 7 with a degree of difficulty at 2.3 and a 25-point lead heading into that dive. He's going to be tough to catch. 4.29 flat for Connor Mahevix, and he is our leader. Caleb Keener from Carroll, the senior. Four and a halves and 5 for Caleb on that particular dive. Alex Fiedler, Southside senior. Again, Connor Mahevix is our current leader. Isaac Hunter and James Swinehart in second and third, with 6 divers yet to perform their final dive. Here is Alex Fiedler from Southside. .105C right there. That forward 2.5 somersaults. That's a 2.4 degree difficulty. That's one of the toughest dives we've seen performed today. Nate Pendergrass, currently in second place, is our next performer. .429.00 is the number to beat. He came into that dive at 3:58.15. 3:91.15 for Nate. He is currently in second place. Matthew Hayward, the Concordia sophomore who was in third place heading into this dive, is next. Scores in the 4 and 4.5 range for Matthew. Will it be enough to hold on to third place? 373.20. He is currently in third place. Spencer Collier, the Homestead freshman, 3:28.15. Wow, the freshman stepped up with some pressure on him and completed a beautiful dive. He needs a 3:59.65 to get him into fourth place, and that dive is going to do it. Congratulations to the freshman, Spencer Collier, who has moved into fourth place and will be moving on to regionals. James Totteran from Carroll on the board. Four and a halves and 5s for James on that dive. Braden Buzz is our final competitor here for the diving, a Carroll freshman. Fives and 5.5s for Braden. That will complete the diving competition. And Connor Mahevix from the Snyder sophomore is this year's sectional champion. Joining him at regionals next Tuesday at Fishers will be second place Nate Pendergrass from Lures, a junior. A Concordia sophomore, Matthew Hayward, finishes third. And the freshman from Homestead, Spencer Collier, with that beautiful final dive, 3:69.20, will finish fourth. Your alternate will be Isaac Hunter, a Homestead sophomore. who finished 5th, with James Swinehart, the Homestead senior, finishing 6th. So in a event typically dominated by Homestead, you had Snyder, Connor Mahavicks win. Lures Nate Pendergrass finished 2nd. Concordia's Matthew Hayward finished 3rd. And Homestead's Spencer Collier finished 4th. Last year's champion was Jared Miller from Homestead. And the record holder was a previous state champion, Kevin Freeble from Homestead, who dove a 563.65 back in 2015. Let's put that in perspective. 563.65 was 134 points higher than this year's winner. So take nothing away from Connor Mahavicks for winning the sectional. Just shows how good Kevin Freeble was. So again, we've got Connor Mahavicks as our champion, Nate Pendergrass, Matthew Hayward, and Spencer Collier joining him at Fishers Regional next Tuesday night. As all the scores are tabulated, we get ready to give the results. They're setting the pool back up for the swimming competition. The swimmers will be back in to warm up. We're about 15 minutes probably away from the next event, which will be the 100-yard butterfly. But we will come before that. We will have the presentation of the diving awards. Again, you are watching Summit City or IHSAA Swimming and Diving on SummitCitySports.com. Some of our sponsors: Big Eye Fish, Parkview Sports Medicine, and Parkview Ortho Express. So the diving competition is over. As the results are tabulated, we'll know who finishes in what position so we can add to the team totals. But Homestead, obviously, with finishers 4, 5, and 6, are going to move up in the head or the overall standings. Looks like we've got Carroll finishing in 9th, 10th, and 12th unofficially. We will wait for the official results before we give you these sectional scores. Mahavicks, Pendergrass, and Hayward and Collier. 4 athletes, 4 different schools. ADs might want to get together and see if they can do a little ride share down to Fishers on Tuesday. Congratulations to those 4 young men that will be competing at Fishers next week. Well, while they're tabulating the results and the swimmers are warming up, we'll take a little bit of a break here. You are watching IHSAA Sectional Swimming and Diving on SummitCitySports.com.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
The Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse is a state-of-the-art facility that has become the home of sports in our region. Also the home of Parkview Sports Medicine with our new Ortho Express Clinic, AWP Sports, plus all kinds of club activity from basketball, volleyball, futsal, pickleball, and more. The Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. Check it out today.
There's Ryan looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hits, scores!
Now the sticks are up. And now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne Hockey.
Long with the deke.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
At Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. Our elite team of experts in orthopedic surgery, athletic rehabilitation, nutrition, and sports performance coordinate your care all along the way. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on.
It's the comets. Comets falling from the sky. 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 Comets falling from the sky.
If you're an athlete, you never know when an injury might happen. That's why Parkview Sports Medicine has made the new Ortho Express Clinic. Located inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, the Ortho Express Clinic has everything that an athlete would need, from physicians to athletic rehab and sports performance. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
Parkview Sports Medicine continues to lead the way in Northeast Indiana with our new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic, offering direct access to physicians and Saturday morning clinics that are convenient for you. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on.
Get mad about blue. Get mad about your Fort Wayne Mad Ants. When looking for the best basketball action in town, it's Go to FortWayneMadAnts.com for the complete game schedule. See your Fort Wayne Mad Ants in action. Get mad about blue.
If you're an athlete or the parent of one, you want to check out Parkview Sports Medicine. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, our expert physicians at O&E, and the area's only specialized athletic rehab. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com and click on the Services tab.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot. Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl.
Shot hits the post, and the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores!
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
AWP Sports finds the athlete's purpose beyond athletics. The industry leader in sports performance for over 10 years in Northeast Indiana. You can find out more by clicking on the Services tab at the top.
We're back here at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium on the campus of Southside High School, where the diving event has recently completed. Unofficially, we have Connor Mahavix from Snyder as our champion, Nate Pendergrass from Lures, second place, Matthew Hayward from Concordia in third, Isaac Hunter from Homestead in fourth, Spencer Collier from Homestead in fifth, James Swinehart from Homestead in sixth, Alex Fiedler from Southside in seventh, Julian Lebanoff from Southside in eighth, James Totterin from Carroll in ninth, Caleb Keener from Carroll in 10th, Tyler Kaiser from Snyder in 11th, Braden Buzz from Carroll in 12th, Hunter Fielder from Southside in 13th, Charlie Burton from Lures in 14th, and Josh Wolf from Dwinger in 15th place. Couple of those there towards the bottom we think might have some tabulation errors, but we are positive that 1, 2, 3, 4 was McCavitz, Pendergrass, Hayward, and Collier, and they will be going to the regional competition. If the scores that we have tabulated are correct, Homestead gained 42 points in the diving. Carroll only 21. Homestead finishing 4th, 5th, and 6th. Carroll finishing 9th, 10th, and 12th. That would take the team scores to Homestead 218 and Carroll 192. So through the diving, Homestead has opened up a 26-point lead on the Carroll Chargers. That's going to be difficult for Carroll to make up. However, relays, they can make up 6 points in each one of those if they were able to win the 2 and the 4 free relay. But Homestead's 200-yard free relay is loaded, and I think it is a state champion contending relay. So I don't think Carroll's going to make up any ground in the relays because I believe Homestead will win that. But that's why they swim the events. And there's always a possibility of a disqualification. But next up will be the 100-yard butterfly. We'll follow that up with the 100-yard freestyle. Then we'll get to the 500-yard freestyle, 200-yard freestyle relay, 100-yard backstroke, 100-yard breaststroke, and end the meet with the 400-yard freestyle relay. Again, we have had 5 events thus far. And in the first event, Carroll won the medley relay, and Homestead swam a state qualifying time, so they both advance. Julian Norman defended his 200-yard freestyle title, and his teammate Zach Zishka will be joining him for sure at state. Had the race of the day thus far in the 200-yard IM, where sophomore from Carroll, Tristan DeWitt, set the sectional record and had 5 swimmers eclipse the state qualifying time. DeWitt with teammates Jack McCurdy in second, Timothy Cater in third. Cameron Luarde, the freshman from Homestead, in fourth, and his teammate Bryce Warner, the senior from Homestead, in fifth. So all 5 of those guys advanced to state. In the 50-yard freestyle, Riley Anderson from Homestead won, and his teammate Scott Hodson swam a state cut, as did Fort Wayne Snyder's Jacob Miller. So the 3 of them will be heading to the state meet. And in diving, well, we don't know who's going to state, but we do know that Snyder's Connor Mahavix, Lure's Nate Pendergrass, Concordia's Matthew Hayward, and Homestead's Spencer Collier will be going to the regional event at Fishers with the opportunity to qualify for the state event next Saturday. Again, we're here at Southside High School, the Helen P. Bradden Natatorium, where Liz Kaywood is the natatorium director and the meet director. The swimmers continue to warm up as they've had about a 45-minute break while the diving competition concluded. Probably about 5 or 10 minutes we'll be getting going here again. We're going to have 2 heats of the 100-yard butterfly. 100-yard butterfly defending champion is Noah Dalton. Record is held by Jackson Kent at 46.44, set in 2016. And the state cut is 47.42 seconds. I'm sorry, I was reading the wrong event. Last year's champion was Jackson Kent from Carroll. The record holder is Ryan Housing from Carroll. In 2016, he did it in 49.17 seconds and went on to win the state championship that year. The state cut is 51.48. Nobody in prelims came under the state cut, but a lot of the Carroll and Homestead swimmers were swimming in team suits and not tech suits that are being worn today. So I expect to see quicker times in the events coming up from the Carroll and Homestead swimmers. We'd like to thank our sponsors. Today's broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports. Like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for many local high school sporting events in the Fort Wayne area. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. Our elite team of experts in orthopedic surgery, athletic rehabilitation, nutrition, and sports performance training offer athletes coordinated care and instant access at the new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic inside the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. Also, ParkviewSportsMedicine.com is the new go-to for local sports with scores and highlights for all area schools. Parkview Sports Medicine wants to celebrate the accomplishments of our local athletes on and off the field. Check it out at ParkviewSportsMedicine.com. To make Parkview Sports Medicine part of your team, give us a call at 260-266-4007 or log into ParkviewSportsMedicine.com. Big Eyed Fish supports Fort Wayne area athletics and has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Originally located at historic 1502 North Wells Street, you can also visit their express locations at 3001 Hillegas Road and their express north location at 10380 Leo Road. Big Eyed Fish has a 4.3 star rating out of 5 with over 215 Google reviews. Find us at originalbigeyedfish.com and bigeyedfishexpress.com and like our Facebook pages for updated promotions. Enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. The Fort Wayne Comets have won 9 championships in 65 years of calling Fort Wayne home. The Comets have attracted over 1.2 million fans to the Coliseum over the past 4 seasons, with an average attendance of over 7,500 fans per game. For game information and tickets, go to comets.com. You can also find the Comets on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Well, we're still waiting for the diving results to be tabulated. The swimmers continue to warm up, but by our calculations, Homestead holds a 218-192 lead on Carroll for the team championship. 100-yard butterfly will be next, following the results of diving and the awards. Thus far today, we've had 2 sectional records go down. The sectional record in the 200-yard medley relay, Carroll broke, and Tristan DeWitt broke the sectional record in the 200-yard IM. They're asking for the competition pool to be cleared. That means we're probably ready for the diving awards. And then we'll be back to the meet with the 100-yard butterfly. Their diving awards are being presented right now. Eighth place was Julian Lebanoff from Southside. Seventh place was his teammate, Alex Fiedler from Southside. Sixth place from Homestead was James Swinehart finished in 6th. His teammate Isaac Hunter finished 5th. Your top 4 move on to the regional competition. Freshman Spencer Collier. 3rd place, sophomore from Concordia, Matthew Hayward. 2nd place, a junior from Fort Wayne Bishop Lures, Nate Pendergrast. And your champion with a score of 429.00, a sophomore from Fort Wayne Snyder, Connor Mahavix. Good luck to Connor, Nate, Matthew, and Spencer as they head to Fishers for regional competition Tuesday night. First call for the 100-yard butterfly in our B final. Lane 1, Paul Helmich, a junior from Canterbury. Lane 2, Logan Voles, a sophomore from Concordia. Lane 3, Bo Trowbridge, a junior from Snyder. Lane 4, Evan Kropf, a senior from Concordia. Lane 5, Josiah Barber, a senior from Northside. Lane 6, Ben Fink, a senior from Bishop Luers. Lane 7, Luke Maskell, a senior from Dwenger. And in lane 8, Adam Bergman, a senior from Northrop. Starter calling on the blocks, and we're ready to swim again. Out early in lane 4 is Evan Kropp, the senior from Concordia. As they hit the wall, it's Kropp in 4 and Trowbridge in 3, your leaders. As they pass us, Kropp in 4, Trowbridge in 3, followed by Voles in 2 and Barber in 5. 25-78, Evan Kropp at the turn, followed by Trowbridge, 26-71. Trowbridge 1 second behind at the turn, but is making up ground here on the back half of the race. As they hit the turn at 75, it's Kropp, followed closely by Trowbridge. In third place is Barber. Evan Kropp with a good turn, has about a half a body length lead on Bo Trowbridge. Third place is Josiah Barber. And at the wall, it's going to be Evan Kropp, followed by Bo Trowbridge and Josiah Barber. 1, 2, 3. Fourth place in this heat goes to Ben Fink. Fifth place to Logan Voles. Sixth place to Luke Maskell. Seventh to Paul Hemlich. And in eighth place, Adam Bergman from Northrop. 57.22 was Evan's time. Bo 58.37, Josiah 59.76 were the three swimmers to break the 1 minute mark. Now for your championship final. In lane 1, a freshman from Homestead, Ethan Dalton. Lane 2, a senior from Homestead, Trey Cooley. Lane 3, a freshman from Concordia, Finley Brooks. Lane 4, a senior from Carroll, Timothy Cater. Lane 5, a junior from Carroll, Noah Yarian. Lane 6, a sophomore from Carroll, Brian Lauer. Lane 7, a sophomore from Homestead, Yeyoung Song. And in lane 8, a junior from Southside, Jagger Loran. The defending champion, Jackson Kent, swimming in Missouri. Ryan Housing, the Yale swimmer, is the record holder at 49.17. 51.48 will put these guys automatically into the state finals. Cater and Yarian, 1-2. Look at lane 8. Jagger Loran from Southside with some outside smoke. He makes the turn in first place. It's Loran followed by Cater and Yarian. Lane 6 has got Brian Lauer contending, but it's Loran at the turn in lane 8. Loran and Cater 1-2, Yarian 3, Lauer 4. Tim Cater is taking the lead. Timothy Cater from Carroll, followed by his teammates Yarian and Lauer. Carroll goes 1-2-3 in the butterfly. Loran from Southside 4th. Cooley Homestead 5th. Brooks 6th. Dalton 7th. And Song 8th place. That was exactly what Carroll needed to cut into the 26-point lead that Homestead had following the diving. No record in that event, but two swimmers, Carroll's Timothy Cater and Noah Yarian, both go underneath the state cut and will be heading to Indianapolis. Their teammate Brian Lauer, about a 0.6 of a second slower than the state cut, so he'll take a peek tonight, see if he makes it. But Carroll goes 1-2-3. Timothy Cater is your champion. Noah at a time of 50.76. Noah Yarian second, 51.08. Brian Lauer third, 52.10. The Southside's junior Jagger Loran in fourth, 52-51. Fifth place, Homestead's Trey Cooley, 52-62. Sixth place, the freshman out of Concordia, Finley Brooks, 53-33. Seventh place, Ethan Dalton, the freshman from Homestead, 54-61. And in eighth place, the sophomore from Homestead, Yi Young Song at 54.72. Well, that's exactly what Carroll needed to kind of tighten things up. 53 points for the Chargers in that event with their 1-2-3 finish. Homestead with a 5-7-8 finish gets 35 points. Now Homestead now leads by 8 points, 253 to 245, with 6 events remaining, 2 of them being relays. So that's again another event where we have 2 state qualifiers. We had 2 medley relays, 2 in the 200 free, 5 in the 500 IM, 2 in the 50 free, and now 2 in the 100 fly. Every event has had at least 2, other than the IM that had 5 state qualifiers. Last year in the butterfly event, Noah Yarian had 11th place at state. He was our runner-up this year, and Timothy Cater, our champion, finished in 12th. So look for those guys, along possibly with their teammate Brian Lauer, but definitely those 2 will be headed to state. Look for them to be looking for championship finals this year to try to finish in the top 8. Congratulations, Timothy Cater, Noah Yarian. Good luck next week in Indianapolis. Best of luck, Brian Lauer. Hopefully your time holds up and you can join them. Next up, we head into the 100-yard freestyle event. In lane 1 from Snyder, sophomore Connor Habish. Lane 2 from Northrop, junior Brian Prusser. Lane 3, a freshman from Snyder, Frederick Henderson. Lane 4, a sophomore from Concordia, Mason Pickett. Lane 5, a senior from Concordia, Maxwell Imler. Lane 6, a senior from Dwenger, Denario Brinker. Lane 7, a junior from Northrop, Andrew Prusser. And then lane 8, a sophomore from Lures, Nick Berkmeyer. Looks like off the start, Maxwell Imler in lane 5 from Concordia has got a good start, now to an early lead. He'll turn first at the 25, followed closely by Pickett and Henderson. As they finish the 50, Pickett from Concordia has passed to Imler. The teammates go 1-2 into the turn with Frederick Henderson, the freshman from Snyder, in third. Pickett now beginning to take charge. His time was 51.58 in the prelims. 51.86 for Imler. At the 75, it's Pickett making the turn, followed by Imler and Henderson. Fourth place Brinker in lane 6. Mason Pickett, the sophomore, has this consolation heat well in hand. A body length lead over his teammate, senior Maxwell Imler from Concordia. They go 1-2. Frederick Henderson third. Brian Prusser fourth. Denario Brinker finishes fifth. Andrew Prusser sixth. It's like we had a replacement out there in lane 7, or I'm sorry, in lane 8. Harold swam the event instead. And Hatfield, also an alternate, finished in 8th place. And so Mason Hatfield, I apologize for not noticing you earlier out there in lane 1. And Mr. Harold, I didn't notice you in lane 8. We'll set the lineup for you here for this championship final as it gets going. Defending champion Noah Dalton. State cut is 47-42. Record Jackson Kent 2 years ago, 46-44. Lane 1 from Carroll, Christian Seary. Lane 2 from Concordia, Liam Brooks. Lane 3 from Snyder, Jacob Miller. Lane 4 from Homestead, Scott Hodson. Lane 5 from Carroll, Sam Waltman. Lane 6 from Carroll, Elijah Gear. Lane 7, Spencer Korn from Homestead. Lane 8, Jackson Burke from Homestead. It's all Hodson in the first 50. Hodson followed by Jacob Miller in second place. Hatfield out in lane 1. I'm sorry, that's his Seary in lane 1 in third place. But it's Hodson and Miller. Seary in third. Scott Hodson with his sister in Germany watching him is going to be the 100-yard freestyle champion. Scott Hodson, Jacob Miller, Elijah Gear, Christian Seary top fourth. Scotty Hodson with a new sectional record of 45.99 seconds. Let the celebration in Germany begin. Again, state cut 47.42. Jacob Miller, 47.24. He's going to state. Elijah Gear, 48.02 in third. Christian Seary, 48.23 in fourth place. Sam Waltman from Carroll, 49.08. Liam Brooks from Concordia finished in sixth place, 49.22. Spencer Korn from Homestead in seventh place, 49.52. And Jackson Burke from Homestead finishes in eighth place at 50.68. So Hodson from Homestead's your champion. Jacob Miller from Snyder will be joining him at the state meet next week in Indianapolis. Scotty Hodson, new sectional record, breaking the mark set by Jackson Kent 2 years ago. 45.99 seconds. That's going to seat him pretty high at the state meet. He finished 10th there last year. I bet he's going to be seated probably in the top 6. I'm going to guess. That's strictly a guess, but I'm going to say he's going to be seated in the top 6 for next week's state meet. So Homestead finishes 1st, 7th, and 8th. Carroll finishes 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And that tightens this up a little bit more, where Homestead scores 43 points, Carroll scores 45 points, and the score now through the 100-yard freestyle is Homestead 296, Carroll 290. As we get ready for the 500-yard freestyle, where based on seeds, Homestead could open up their lead, being that they swam 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in qualifying. Carroll finished 4th, 5th, and 6th. So Homestead looks to widen that gap a little bit here in the 500. So they give away the awards here. That's Spencer Cornan for 7th place. 6th place, Liam Brooks from Concordia. 5th goes to Samuel Waltman from Carroll. 4th place, Christian Seary, the sophomore from Carroll. 4th place, the sophomore from Carroll, Christian Seary. 3rd place, the sophomore from Carroll. The freshman from Carroll, Elijah Gear. 2nd place, the senior from Snyder, Jacob Miller. And in 1st place, your champion with a new sectional record time of 45.99 is a senior from Homestead, Scott Hodson. Wave to your sister there, Scott. All right, now we go into the 500-yard freestyle. This one's going to take a little bit. 20 laps of the pool. Counters are in place. Consolation final will be taking place shortly. Again, unofficially, we have Homestead leading 296 to 290 through the 100-yard freestyle. In lane 1, a senior from Southside, Chris McDowell. Lane 2, a sophomore from Snyder, Jacob Burton. Lane 3, a senior from Concordia, Nathan Walls. Lane 4, a junior from Northside, Dylan DeLong. Lane 5, a freshman from Snyder, Benjamin Whitehill. Lane 6, a junior from Concordia, Joshua Gegline. Lane 7, a sophomore from Northrop, Bryce Hunt. And in lane 8, a sophomore from Bishop Dwenger, Sam Horan. 50 yards down. Looks like out there in lane 7, Bryce Hunt with a slight lead, followed in lane 5 by Benjamin Whitehill. As the swimmers finish up their first 100 yards, it is Hunt in lane 7, Whitehill in lane 5, and really tight in lanes 2, 3, and 6 for third place. Whitehill makes the turn at 32.01. Hunt 31.56, Burton 32.26 are your top 3 splits. Field's starting to tighten up a little bit more here in the middle of the pool. Hunt still has your lead. Gegline in lane 6 is coming on. Whitehill still in second. Lane 3 is Nathan Walls. He'd be in third place. Splits here was Bryce Hunt with a 33.01. 33.38 for Whitehill. 32.87 for Walls. So he's making up a little ground. Very tight in the middle of the pools. Lane 2 through 7 are all within a couple body lengths of each other. It's like lane 3, Nathan Walls, the senior from Concordia, is going to be first to touch at the 200. Check that, Benjamin Whitehill, the Snyder freshman, first into the wall. Quickest split there was by Whitehill. Five guys are starting to separate themselves from the field. That's lane 3, Nathan Walls. Lane 4, Dylan DeLong. Lane 5, Benjamin Whitehill. Lane 6, Joshua Gegline. And lane 7, Bryce Hunt. Halfway point right there. 33-16. 33-14 for DeLong was the quickest split. 33-48 for Gegline, second. DeLong starting to pull out to a little bit of a lead. He's in the middle of the pool in lane 4 because he had the fastest preliminary time of 5:29.56 of this 8-swimmer field Thursday night. DeLong's first to the wall. 33.49 was his split. 33.77 for Walls. So those two are starting to separate themselves a little bit from the field. It's DeLong, Walls, followed by Gegline and Whitehill. Your top 4. Here's where the swimmers are beginning to start to have to fight through the burn. Got 350 yards down, 150 to go. Again, it's Walls, DeLong first to the wall, but Gegline with the fastest split out there in lane 6 at 33.79. So Gegline's gaining a little bit of ground. He gained 0.7 of a second during that 50 and is now in second place, followed by his teammate Walls in lane 3. As the swimmers complete their 400 yards, it's still Dylan DeLong, the junior from Northside, in first place, followed closely by Joshua Gegline, the junior from Concordia, and Nathan Walls, the senior from Concordia. 33.74 for DeLong, 34.26 for Gegline. DeLong with the fastest split there has widened his lead with 100 yards to go. You'll see the counters display those numbers a little bit differently. You got people shaking them up and down, side to side. Those are signals to the swimmers to whether or not you're on your pace, you're off your pace, you're over your pace. As well as the coaches on the sideline are giving signals as they breathe. There's the bell lap. DeLong 34.65. Whitehill with a 34.04. 33.96 for Gegline. He's making a charge out there in lane 6. It's Dylan DeLong in lane 4. Joshua Gegline in lane 6. That's 1-2. Gegline with a slight deficit to try to make up. Great turn by Dylan DeLong. He's coming home strong. I don't think anyone's going to catch him, although Nathan Walls in 3's trying. Not enough pull for Walls. Dylan DeLong wins the consolation heat. Nathan Walls is second. Josh Gegline third. Benjamin Whitehill fourth. Fifth place goes to Jacob Burton. Sixth place to Bryce Hunt. 5:28.47 for DeLong, which was better than his prelim time of 5:29.56. Whitehill also beat his seed time. Gegline knocked 8 seconds off, and Walls knocked 9 seconds off his prelim time. So congratulations to those swimmers who had tremendous drops from Thursday night to today. 7th place goes to lane 1, Chris McDowell. And Sam Horan from Dwinger finishes in 8th. Championship final features 3 swimmers from Homestead, 3 from Carroll, Concordia Lutheran, and a Bishop Dwinger swimmer. In lane 1, sophomore Jacob Magali from Concordia, Josh Cruz, a junior from Carroll's in 2, Caleb Cope, a junior from Homestead in 3, Julian Norman, our defending champion, in 4, a junior from Homestead, Zach Zishka, a sophomore from Homestead, is in 5, Matt Wallum, a senior from Carroll, is in 6, Kyle Kressel, a senior from Carroll, is in 7, and Noah Maskell, a freshman from Bishop Dwinger, is in lane 8. Jackson Kent is your record holder from 2015 with a 4:36.29. He's already seen 2 of his individual and 1 of his relay records go down today. State cut is 4:40.82. Again, Julian Norman, our defending champion. Norman finished 8th at state last year, and Jack McCurdy from Carroll, who's not in the event, finished 14th. Out in first place is Julian Norman at a 24:01, followed by Zach Zishka, Matt Wallum, and Caleb Cope. Nulian and Zishka, followed by Wallum. 1, 2, 3. 4th place is Cope. 5th is Cruz, and 6th is Kressel out there in lane 7. Norman makes the turn in first place. His first 100 was 50.82, Zishka 51.58, Wallum 52.71, Cope 54.36, Cruz 55.17, Kressel 57.10. Julian Norman continues to lead this event over his teammate Zach Zishka, with Matt Wallum hanging in there. Wallum 1, 2, 3. Norman, Zishka, Wallum 1, 2, 3. Cope with Cruz coming on 4, 5. Kressel in 6th, Maskell in 7th. 8th place right now is Magali. Norman 1:18.46 through 1:50. Norman and Zishka continue to lead. Wallum about a body length and a half behind Zishka. Cruz and Cope battling for 4th. Norman makes the turn with a 27.92 split, 146.36 for his first 150, 147.49 for Zishka, 149.79 for Wallum, Cope's 152.48, Cruz 153.16, Kressel 158.29, Maskell 201.94, and Magali 202.42. Norman and Zishka begin to spread it out a little bit on the field. Norman 28.09, Zishka 28.20, Wallum 29.71, Cope 29.48, Cruz 29.37 on their last splits. That's 1, 2 through 5. Julian Norman with about a 1 body length lead on his teammate Zach Zishka as they head for home. This is 300 yards right here. Matt Wallum's fallen off the pace a bit. Cope and Cruz down here battling in 2 and 3 for the 4th place. Norman 28.52, Wallum 29.50.76 on those splits. I'm sorry, Zishka, I didn't get Norman's split. As they head to the 300-yard mark, Julian Norman with about a body length and a half lead. Matt Wallum's about a half a pool behind. Cope in 3 and Cruz in 2 battle for 4th and 5th. Norman 28.66, Zishka 28.67, hanging right there with him. Julian's 3:11.50, Zach 3:12.88 through 300. Matt Wallum 3:19.03. Cruz 3:21.14 has moved into 4th. Cope 3:21.32 into 5th. Kressel remains in 6th with a time of 3:30.68. Norman with 100 yards to go has the lead on his teammate Zach Zishka by a body length. Wallum in 3rd, Cruz in 4th, Cope in 5th. Julian Norman is beginning to show his strength. Norman coming to get the bell lap. Zischka a body link behind. They're going 1-2 in some order. There's Zischka picked up 600ths on that last 50. Woolham and Cruz 3-4, Copen 5. Norman with about a body half and a link, body and a half link with the final 25 to go. Sectional record 440, 436.29. State cut 440.82. Julian Norman finishes in first. Second, Zach Zischka. Norman's time of 436.16 is a new sectional record. Zischka second, Woolham third. Cope and Cruz fourth and fifth. Kressel finishes in sixth place. Seventh place will go to Jacob Magali. And eighth place, Noah Maskell. Julian Norman has set our fourth sectional record of the day. And all four of those at one time belonged to Jackson Kent. Norman 436.16. Zischka hits the state cut by going 437.26. Woolham finished third, 448.15. I believe Josh Cruz had a soft touch and is actually the fourth place finisher. The board says otherwise. Cope finishes fifth with a 452.02. Kressel 458.63 finishes in sixth. Magali seventh, 512.20, and Maskell will finish in eighth, 519.16. So once again, we have two competitors lower the state cut, go lower than the state cut. That means two in every event with the exception of the 500 IM where we've got 5 headed to the state meet. Fort Wayne well represented next week in Indianapolis. Julian Norman breaks Jackson Kent's record of 3 years ago with a 436.16. Homestead finishes first, second, and fifth. Carroll finishes third, fourth, and sixth. So Homestead will widen their lead a little bit. Homestead with it's at 37 plus a fifth place finish. Homestead with 51 points in that event. Takes their total up to 347. Carroll finishes third, fourth, and sixth for 44 points, bringing their total to 334 points. So Homestead picks up 7 points in that event. They previously led by 6. Homestead now has a 347 to 334 lead on the Carroll Chargers. Cool down laps have been completed. Awards forthcoming. Last year, Norman finished 8th at state. And with that 436.16 time, will be seated probably in the top 8 again this year. A lot of swims next week will be competing for state championships. You got to get through Friday night's preliminaries to be able to swim for a state title on Saturday, just like you had to get through Thursday's prelims here to get to swim for a title today. A lot of competition down there. But Fort Wayne has posted some extremely fast times with 4 records going down. State cuts being 17 state cuts being swam so far, including the relay. So Fort Wayne is going to be well represented and swimming for state titles next week. So they're announcing 9th through 16th place right now.
14th place for Copeland by Sun. The 13th place for Snyder, Jacob Burton. And 12th place for Snyder, Benjamin Martin. 11th place for Concordia, Joshua Gayline. And 10th place for Concordia, Nathan Walsh.
And now the awards for your top 8 finishers. In 8th place from Dwenger, a freshman, Noah Maskell. In 7th place, a sophomore from Concordia, Jacob Magali. In 6th place, a senior from Carroll, Kyle Kressel. In 5th place, a junior from Homestead, Caleb Cope. In 4th place, a junior from Carroll, Josh Cruz. In 3rd place from Carroll, a senior, Matt Wollum. In 2nd place with a state qualifying time, a sophomore from Homestead, Zach Zishka. And your 2018 champion with a new sectional record time of 4:36.16, a junior from Homestead, Julian Norman. Again, you are watching IHSAA Swimming and Diving Sectionals on SummitCitySports.com. Please follow us on Twitter at 260 Sports, like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for many local high school sporting events around the Fort Wayne area. Next up, the 200-yard freestyle relay. So 4 records, 17 state cuts have been set during our 7 swimming events. In lane 3 will be Fort Wayne South. In lane 4, Bishop Luers. And in lane 5, Fort Wayne Wayne. Swimming for Southside, freshman Sam Heller. Junior, Virgil Towns II. Senior, Jocelyn Comlin. And sophomore, Julian Lebanoff. For Luers, freshman senior Ashton Everett, senior Charlie Burton, junior Will Huth, and senior Adam Veldman. And for Wayne, senior Oscar Nieto, junior Logan Peden, junior Joseph Gilson, and junior Amari White. First to touch was lane 4. That's Bishop Luers. They're out to a large lead. Wayne was second, Southside in third. Into the water for Luers is Charlie Burton, the senior. Logan Peden, the freshman for Wayne, and Virgil Towns, the junior for Southside, is currently in third. Burton, with about a 10-yard lead, will be handing it off to junior Will Huth. Huth into the water, and Wayne will be next to touch. Joseph Gilson goes in, and for Southside in lane 3, Joqualin Coleman. Actually, it looks like Southside may have changed the lineup up a little bit from their swim on Thursday night. Luers continues to lead this race. Huth will hand off to Veldman. Got about a half a pool lead. Wayne is next. Amari White into the water. And for Southside, now it's Joqualin Coleman. Bishop Luers has this consolation heat firmly in hand. Wayne with about a 2-second lead as they head for home. First to touch the walls, Bishop Luers. Wayne's going to hold off Southside for 10th place. Luers finishes 149.88. While we got a second, we'll set the lineups here for you for the final. In lane 1, north side, Josiah Barber, Cameron Cook, Colin Francis, Dylan DeLong. In lane 2, Snyder, Tyler Griffiths, Jacob Burton, Frederick Henderson, Benjamin Whitehill. In lane 3, Carroll, Christian Siri, Kyle Kressel, Elijah Gear, Sam Woltman. In lane 4, Homestead, Julian Norman, Riley Anderson, Scott Hodson, Yi Hung Song. In 5, Concordia, Finley Brooks, Maxwell Imler, Jacob Magali, Liam Brooks. In lane 6, Northrop, Brennan Reinhardt, Brian Prusser, Andrew Prusser, Tyus White. In 7, Dwenger, Andre Holly, Luke Maskell, Noah Maskell, and Denario Brinker. And in lane 8, Canterbury, Connor Lochner, Paul Helmich, Henry DeBello, and Merritt Lamb. Defending champion was Carroll. However, only Nobody from last year's team is swimming on this relay. Homestead finished third at state, and Carroll finished fourth at state last year. Sectional record was Carroll in 2017 at 124.93. State qualifying time 128.17. Norman, who just won the 500 free, is first for Homestead. He's got the early lead on Carroll's Christian Siri in lane 3. Lane 5's got Finley Brooks from Concordia, close third. As they make the turn, it's 1, 2, 3, Homestead, Carroll, Concordia. Tough to pick who's in first place there. Looks like Homestead gets to the wall first, followed by Carroll and Concordia. Into the water for Homestead, Julian Norman. Kyle Kressel for Carroll. And Maxwell Imler for Concordia. Homestead with about a body length lead. Carroll in second, Concordia third. Homestead's going to hand off to the senior Scott Hodson. Carroll handed off to the junior Elijah Gear. And Concordia handed off to the sophomore Magali. Homestead well out in front in this one. Hodson with a strong swim. Will be handing off to Yi Hung Song, the sophomore. Carroll continues to be second. Sam Waltman next into the water for Carroll. Concordia will finish with Liam Brooks. Homestead with about a 3 body length lead. Waltman trying to hold off Brooks for second. Homestead's got this relay. Will they break the sectional record of 124.93? Carroll second, looking for the state qualifying time of 1:28. Homestead first. Carroll second. Concordia third. Snyder fourth. 1:25.32. Carroll 1:27.83. That's a state qualifying time for Carroll. Concordia third, 1:29.78. Snyder fourth, 1:31.68. Fifth place goes to fifth place goes to Northrop, 1:39.58. Sixth place, Dwenger, 1:39.68. Seventh place, Northside, 1:45.74. And eighth place goes to Canterbury, 1:46.20. Homestead, your champion. Junior Julian Norman, senior Riley Anderson, senior Scott Hodson, and sophomore Yi Hung Song. Carroll also swims the state qualifying time with sophomore Christian Siri, senior Kyle Kressel, freshman Elijah Gear, and junior Sam Waltman. So as this meet has pretty much held to form, 2 qualifying swims for the state meet. Homestead scores the 40 points, Carroll the 34. Homestead widens their lead to 19 points, 387 to 368 over Carroll. Last year's state finish saw Carmel winning the state title at 353. Homestead finished 6th at 140. Carroll finished 7th at 128. And Snyder finished 19th with 25 points. Sectionals last year was Homestead 521, Carroll 503, Snyder 294, Concordia 247, and Lures 164 rounded out our top 5. Southside finishes in 11th. Wayne finishes in 10th. Lures finishes 9th.
Your championship heat, your top 8 finishers.
8th place was Canterbury.
7th place, Northside.
7th went to Northside. 6th is Dwenger.
6th place, Bishop Dwenger.
5th place was Northrop.
5th place, Northrop.
4th place went to Snyder. 3rd place, Concordia. Not quite the state qualifying time. They missed it by about 1.4 seconds, so they'll stick around and wait. 2nd place, Carroll, with a state qualifying time. That's Christian Siri, Kyle Kressel, Elijah Gear, and Sam Waltman. And your sectional champions are Homestead, Julian Norman, Riley Anderson, Scott Hodson, Yi Hong Sung. Well, folks, forgive me a little bit. I got a son on that Carroll relay team, and this is the first time he's qualified for state. Been a full-time swimmer for about 4 years and has been working hard towards the goal that he just achieved. So, as a dad, I'm a little choked up. So, but we'll get rid of that. We'll head on to the 100-yard backstroke. We're in lane 1 from Northrop is the senior Adam Bergman. Second, lane 2, Lures, Ben Fink. We'll set the rest of the lineup after they get going. Again, a senior, lane 1 from Northrop, Adam Bergman. Lane 2, senior from Lures, Ben Fink. Lane 3, a sophomore from Northrop, Bryce Hunt. Lane 4, Cole Drastrati from Concordia, junior. A junior from Snyder's in 5, Zachary Cabellis-Lund. A sophomore from Concordia is in 6, Logan Voles. Lane 7, a freshman from Snyder, Tyler Kaiser. And in late, a senior from Canterbury, Connor Lochner. As they make the turn for 50, it's Zachary Cabellis-Lund, the junior from Snyder, in first place, followed by Cole Drastade from Concordia Lutheran. Third place out there in lane 6 is Logan Voles. Fourth place, Bryce Hunt in lane 3. Cabellis-Lund continues the lead as they head down the home stretch. Cole Drastade in Concordia is in second. Third place looks like it's lane 6 with Logan Voles, although a strong push from Bryce Hunt in 3. It's Cabellis-Lund winning the heat in a time of 59.62. Drastade 101.50 was second. Logan Voles 104.60 third. Line up for your championship final. In lane 1, a freshman from Carroll, Noah Shearer. In lane 2, a sophomore from Carroll, Brian Lauer. In lane 3, a senior from Homestead, Bryce Warner. In lane 4, a junior from Carroll, Noah Yarian. In lane 5, a senior from Homestead, Trey Cooley. In lane 6, a junior from Homestead, Brandon Wiggins. In lane 7, a junior from Southside, Jager Loran. And in lane 8, a sophomore from Concordia, Mason Pickett. Sectional records held by Jacob Steele, who's now swimming at Indiana University. 49.18 set last year, and he is your defending champion. 52.46 will automatically get you to state. And Noah Yarian did swim that time, under that time by going 51.78 Thursday night. Yarian finished 4th at last year's state meet. Look for him to get out to an early lead here with some strong underwater work. Nobody really threatens the 15-meter mark. Yarian's first to the wall. Lane 7, Jagger Loran is right there with him. A lot of underwater work. It's Yarian and Loran, followed by lanes 5 and 3, Cooley and Warner. Yarian at the turn, 23.83. Cooley, 25.01. Loran, 25.05. Warner, 25.12. Yarian's got a body length lead. It's a tight race for second between lanes 3, 5, and 7. Noah Yarian going to comfortably win this race. .49.18 is the sectional record, not set. Second, Yarian wins. Cooley second, Loran third, Warner fourth, Wiggins fifth, Lauer sixth, Shearer seventh, Pickett eighth. Noah Yarian wins at a time of 49.73. Second place, Trey Cooley, 51.68. Third place, 52.06 for Jagger Loran. 52.26 is fourth place, Bryce Warner. All four of those make a state cut time. So 4 more Fort Wayne swimmers headed to state, this time in the 100-yard backstroke. Fifth place went to Wiggins, 55-14. Sixth to Lauer, 55-57. Seventh to Shearer, 56-91. Eighth to Pickett, 101-32. Again, the state qualifying time was 52:46, of which 4 swimmers qualified for. Yarian from Carroll's your champion. Cooley from Homestead, second. Loran from Southside, third. And Warner from Homestead, fourth. Homestead picks up 1 more point in that event, scoring 46 points to Carroll's 45, and now leads by 20, 433 to 413. So Homestead with a pretty commanding 20-point lead as we get into this into the breaststroke. Two events remain. Carroll does have the top 2 seeds in the breaststroke. Homestead third and fourth, Carroll fifth, so Carroll could pick up a little bit of points there. You really need to be within 6 heading into that 400 freestyle relay. So Carroll's got some ground to make up in the breaststroke. Eighth place, Mason Pickett from Concordia. 7th place, Noah Shear, the freshman, getting his first sectional ribbon. Sophomore from Carroll, Brian Lauer, 6th, I'm sorry. Brandon Wiggins from Homestead, the junior, was 5th. The senior Warner from Homestead was 4th with a state qualifying time. The junior from Southside, Loran, was 3rd, the state qualifying time. Cooley, senior from Homestead, was 2nd with a state qualifying time. And Yarian, last year's 4th place state finisher, is your sectional champion with a state qualifying time of 49.73. Once again, another event next week where Fort Wayne is going to be putting a swimmer that's going to compete for a state title. There's not one event that I haven't seen today that Fort Wayne could not be competing for a state title next week. You'll be able to watch that action on IHSAATV.org. Tune in Friday night for the preliminaries and Saturday at 1 o'clock for the finals to see how these young men from the Fort Wayne area do. Congratulations to our 4 state qualifiers as we move on to the 100-yard breaststroke.
Event number 11, boys 100-yard breaststroke.
Starter calls the swimmers to the block. In lane 1, a senior from Snyder, Jesse Freiberger. Lane 2, a senior from Snyder, Jared Freiberger. Lane 3, a senior from Northrop, Thaisius White. Lane 4, a junior from Dwenger, Andre Holly. Lane 5, a freshman from Snyder, Sam Trowbridge. Lane 6, a junior from Northrop, Michael Fisher. Lane 7, a senior from Concordia, Micah Maxson. And lane 8, a sophomore from Dwenger, Sam Horine. Out front in lane 5 is Sam Trowbridge, the freshman from Snyder, followed closely by Holly, the junior from Dwenger. It's Trowbridge and Holly way out in front of the field on this one. Third place in lane 3 is Thaisius White. And a little family feud down in lanes 1 and 2 with Jesse and Jared Freiberger, the seniors from Snyder. Trowbridge and Holly 1-2 as they come to the wall. Looks like Holly's got a little bit of a lead, and he does touch first as Trowbridge takes a little bit of a peek to his left to see where his competition was and finishes second. White third, Jared Freiberger fourth, Jesse Freiberger fifth, Mikhail Fisher 6th, Micah Maxson 7th, Sam Horine in 8th. We'll set the lineup for you real quick before the breaststrokers in the championship heat get in the water. Lane 1, senior Michael Nichter from Homestead. Lane 2, senior Jordan Konecki from Carroll. Lane 3, Cameron Luarde, freshman from Homestead. Lane 4, sophomore Tristan DeWitt from Carroll. Lane 5, Jack McCurdy, a junior from Carroll. Lane 6, Jacob Leffers, a sophomore from Homestead. Lane 7, Jaron Armstrong, a senior from Concordia. And in lane 8, Elliot Lochner, a freshman from Concordia. Last year's champion Parker Bull now swimming at Findlay University. The sectional record is held by Will Shrensky, a Purdue swimmer from 2016 at 56.21. 58.47 is the state cut. We're going to have multiple people go under that number today, I guarantee it. DeWitt, McCurdy, and Warner, or Luarde, 1, 2, 3. First to the wall is McCurdy, followed by DeWitt. Leffers out in lane 6, and Konecki in lane 2, tied for third. McCurdy with a slight lead on DeWitt. It's McCurdy, DeWitt, Luarde as they make the turn and head for home. McCurdy with a slight lead on his teammate DeWitt. They went 1-2 in the IM. They're going to go 1-2 in the breaststroke. McCurdy, DeWitt, who's going to get it at the wall? It's Jack McCurdy. Tristan DeWitt finishes second. Cameron Luarde third. Jordan Konecki fourth. Jacob Leffers fifth. Michael Nichter sixth. Jaron Armstrong seventh. And Elliott Lochter seventh. Sectional record stands. McCurdy's finishes in 57-18. DeWitt finishes 57-27. 58-22 from Luarde in lane 3. 58-84 for Konecki in 4. So the top three, McCurdy, DeWitt, and Luarde, will head to state. Jordan Konecki, the senior from Carroll, missed the time by about 37 hundredths of a second, so he'll wait to see if his time gets him to state. But for sure, Jack McCurdy, Tristan DeWitt, and Cameron Luarde are heading to state. Carroll goes 1-2-4. Homestead goes 3-5-7 in that event, or 3-5-6 in the event. Homestead scores 41. Carroll scores 52. That brings the sectional score right now to Homestead 474 to Carroll's 465, a 9-point difference. 40 points for the winner of the next relay, 34 for the runner-up, 32 for third place, and 30 for fourth place. So Carroll needs to win and hope Homestead gets fourth place or unfortunately disqualified, which I don't think will happen. Looks like the Homestead Spartans, it's their sectional to win right now. But this 400-yard freestyle relay should be pretty exciting. Right now, again, I got Homestead 474 to Carroll's 465 with one event to go. Carroll's assistant coach, Tori Bagan, will be handing out the ribbons for this event. It's kind of symbolic that Tori will be doing it. Tori was a two-time state champion breaststroker for Homestead High School, now coaching under John Gibson at Carroll. So nice to see Tori back. She swam a college career at Ohio University, now back in the area, giving back to the sport that gave her so much. Again, your top three finishers, Cam Luarde, Tristan DeWitt, and your champion, Jack McCurdy, swam in the state cut time of 58:47. We might have a little bit of a change here in the scoring. Carroll went 1-2-4, and Homestead went 3-5-6. So Homestead actually had 43 points in that relay, giving them 476. Carroll, 52 points, 465. So it's an 11-point lead right now for Homestead. Pretty much insurmountable for Carroll unless disaster strikes for Homestead. Carroll can't complain, though. They got quite a few swimmers headed to the state meet next week, and that's going to be just as important as trying to win a sectional. Nothing to hang their head about. Carroll's definitely a top 10 team in the state, just so happens to be swimming in a sectional with a top 5 team in the state. Our final event of the day, event number 12, boys 400-yard freestyle relay. In lane 4 will be Canterbury, and in lane 5 will be Bishop Dwenger. Canterbury's Benjamin Westrop, Henry DeBallo, Merritt Lamb, and Paul Hemlick. And Dwenger has Patrick Harold in the water now, Michael Bogle, Mitchell Heil, and Sam Horan. So they finished the first 25 or first 50. Canterbury's first to the wall at 29.11. Dwenger 29.99. 4 lengths of the pool for each swimmer. Westrop with about a 1 body length lead right now on Harold as he completes 75. Nice turn by Harold. Gets him to about a half a body length behind. He's picking up the pace. Good finish here by Patrick Harold to finish up the race. First 100 and bring him to about a dead tie. 31.73 for Dwenger, 32.66 for Canterbury. So Harold did have a nice finish to the race and put Dwenger into the lead. Sophomore Michael Bogle will try to continue that lead as junior Henry DeBallo is in the water for Canterbury. Dwenger out to about a 1 body length lead. Again, we've got the score. It's unofficial, 476 to 465, Homestead leading, the 2-time defending champions. So far, we've seen 2 medley relays, 2 free hit the state. Carroll and Homestead hit the state qualifying times. Julian Norman and Zach Zishka in the 200 free. Tristan DeWitt, Jack McCurdy, Timothy Cater, Cameron Luarde, Bryce Warner in the 200 IM. Riley Anderson, Scott Hodson in the 50 free. Noah Yarian and Timothy Cater in the 100 fly. The exchanges are being made. Dwenger with a slight lead. And out the start, Canterbury actually takes a little bit of lead. Into the water for Dwenger. In lane 5 is Mitchell Heil. And into the lane for Canterbury is Merritt Lamb. Back to those state qualifiers in the 100 free. You got Scott Hodson and his teammate in the 100 free. That's joining him at state. Jacob Miller from Snyder will be the other in the 100 free. 500 free, you saw Zach Zishka and Julian Norman. 200 free relay, Homestead and Carroll. And in the backstroke, you saw the top 3 moving on with Noah Yarian, Cameron Luarde. Noah Yarian, Trey Cooley, and Jagger Loran moving on. Final exchange there made by Canterbury, as does Dwenger. Canterbury out with a big lead right now. That's Sam Horan and Paul Hemlick into the pool. Sam Horan for Dwenger in lane 5. Defending champions Homestead in this event. Records held by Carroll from 2016. That relay went on to win the state championship, 307.23. 313.38 will send you to the state finals next week. And Canterbury finishes up the relay with a split of 30.2 on their final 50 to end the relay at 4 minutes, 6.02 seconds, and they will take 9th place. Bishop Dwenger will finish in 10th. Northside did not have a relay entered, so there's no 11th place finisher. 37.79 for the final split for Dwenger to finish at 4:23.14. Here we go with the final event of the day, the 400-yard freestyle relay. Lane 1 is Northside did have an entry. Northside. Lane 2, Southside. Lane 3, Homestead. Lane 4, Carroll. Lane 5, Concordia. Lane 6, Snyder. Lane 7, Northrop. And in lane 8, Bishop Lures. It was Wayne without the entry here in the 400-yard free relay.
Mason Hatfield, IHSAA. Lane number 8, Bishop Lures, Charlie Burton, Simon Promotion, Ashton Everett, Ben Crank, Mr. Starter.
A little bit of a change up in the relay order for Carroll from Thursday night. Try to set the lineups for you here as they get going. Lane 1's got Northside's Cameron Cook, Colin Francis, Dylan DeLong, and Josiah Barber. Lane 2, Jagger Loran for Southside, Julian Lebanoff, Micaiah Seafrost, and Chris McDowell. Lane 3, Julian Norman from Homestead, Riley Anderson, Bryce Warner, Zach Zishka. For Carroll, Christian Siri, Jack McCurdy, Noah Yari, and Tristan DeWitt. Concordia, Lochner, Embler, Mason Pickett, Javik, and Magali. Lane 6 from Snyder. Well, let's get to the race. Siri from Carroll's out first. Julian Norman follows him in second. Northrop in lane 7 is Bryce Hunt, Brendan Reinhardt, Mason Hatfield, and Taishas White. Lures in 8 is Charlie Burton, Simon Del Roshan, Ashton Everett, and Ben Fink. And they come to the wall. It's Homestead first, Carroll second. Into the water for Homestead will be Riley Anderson, the senior. Jack McCurdy, the junior for Carroll. 48-10 for Homestead, 48-18 for Carroll, 53-04 for Concordia there in third. Riley Anderson with a one body length lead on Jack McCurdy. Last year, Homestead finished 7th in state in this relay. Riley Anderson had opened up a bigger lead. McCurdy in 4. Concordia's Imler in 5 in third place. But right now it's all Homestead and Carroll as Anderson gets ready to hand it off to Bryce Warner. Carroll, McCurdy hands it off to Noah Yarian. Third into the water for Concordia will be Mason Pickett. Homestead continues to hold on to about a one body length lead. Bryce Warner over Noah Yarian. Homestead and Carroll with a 25-yard lead on the nearest competitor. Carroll picked up 0.2 of a second during that 50. Yarian is gaining on Warner. It's going to come down to the anchor legs of Zach Zishka, the sophomore from Homestead, and Tristan DeWitt, the sophomore for Carroll. Warner holding off Yarian. Yarian again with a better split. DeWitt and Zishka. Here they go, folks. 2:22.42 for Homestead, 2:23.08 for Carroll as they made the last exchange. Zishka's got DeWitt by about a half a body length. But Tristan DeWitt is about 6'5" with a long reach, and at the turn, he picked up 42/100ths. It's DeWitt and Zishka coming down to the final 25 yards. DeWitt now with a slight lead. Tristan DeWitt, the sophomore from Carroll. Zachary Zishka, the sophomore from Homestead. Down the stretch they come. It's DeWitt. DeWitt will be first to the wall, and Carroll wins the 400-yard freestyle relay. Homestead second. 24-24 on the final split. Carroll 309.52. Homestead 309.97. Both easily qualify for the state finals. Concordia finishes third. Fourth goes to lane 6. That's Fort Wayne Snyder. Fifth place, lane 7. That's Northrop. Sixth place in lane 2 is Fort Wayne Southside. Seventh place goes to Northside in lane 1. And Bishop Lures will finish 8th in lane 8. So your champions are sophomore Christian Siri from Carroll, Jack McCurdy, a junior, Noah Yarian, a junior, and Tristan DeWitt, a sophomore. All four will be back next year, but they got their sights set on bigger things next week. Homestead finishes second with junior Julian Norman, senior Riley Anderson, senior Bryce Warner, and sophomore Zach Zishka, both qualifying for the state meet next week. By my unofficial, and I repeat, unofficial totals, Homestead will have won their third straight sectional with a score of 510 to Carroll's 505. Again, that is unofficial. We will wait till the official results come from the scorers table. Real quick, let's go back and recap the results and who will be participating next week at the state finals in Indianapolis. The 200-yard medley relay, Homestead set a new sectional record at 138.69, and Carroll swam the state cut. I'm sorry, these are the prelims. Homestead, Carroll won the event. Carroll won the medley relay with a new sectional record of 132.43. Homestead was second, 133.30. They both go to state. In the 200-yard freestyle, Julian Norman, 141.57, won the event. Zach Zishka with 142.95 joins him at state. The 200 IM was the most impressive race of the day, where Tristan DeWitt set a new record at 150.79. He will be joined at state by Jack McCurdy's 151.62, Timothy Cater's 153.91, Cameron Luarde's 154.70, and Bryce Warner's 155.03. The 50s freestyle was won by Riley Anderson at 20.99. Scott Hodson at 21.09 will join him at state, as will Jacob Miller with a 21.35. So that's three in that event that cut the state cut. In the 100-yard, Timothy Cater was your champion in the 100 fly. 50.76. He'll be joined at state by Noah Yarian at 51.08. 100-yard freestyle was won by Scott Hodson, 45.99 in a new record. He'll be joined at state by Snyder's Jacob Miller. The 500-yard free was won by Julian Norman in a record time. He beat his own record, 4:36.16. He'll be joined at state by Zach Zishka, 4:37.26. The 200-yard freestyle relay, Homestead, 125.32, and Carroll, 127.83 will both be heading to state. In the 100-yard backstroke, your champion was Noah Yarian at a time of 49.73. He will be joined at state by Trey Cooley's 51.68, Jager Loran's 52.06, Bryce Warner's 52.26. Four go to state in the backstroke. The 100-yard breaststroke was won by Jack McCurdy in a time of 57.18, Tristan DeWitt, 57.27. Cameron Luarde's 58.22 will be joining him at state. And the 400-yard freestyle relay was won by Carroll at a time of 3:09.52. They'll be joined at state by Homestead at 3:09.97. So that's two in the medley relay, two in the free, 5 in the IM, 3 in the 50 free, 2 in the 100 fly, 2 in the 100 free, 2 in the 500 free, 2 in the 200 free relay, 4 in the 100 back, 3 in the 100 breast, and 2 400-yard freestyle relays from the city of Fort Wayne in Sectional 6 are headed to the state finals next week. Impressive results today in Fort Wayne. Looks like we do have team scores here updated. In 11th place was Fort Wayne with 28. 10th place, Canterbury, 66. 9th place, Northside, 77. 8th place, Lures, 91. 7th place, Dwenger, 118. 6th place, Northrop, 121. 5th place, Snyder, 129. I'm sorry, Southside. 4th place, Snyder, 233. 3rd place, Concordia, 329. 2nd place, Carroll, 505. And Homestead is your winner at 512 points. That's 3 straight sectionals for Homestead. Carroll can't be too disappointed. Got a lot of people going to state next week. People are going to be contending for state titles, as does Homestead. Extremely fast meet where 4 records were set today. Your Carroll 200-yard medley relay with Noah Yarian, Jack McCurdy, Timothy Cater, and Tristan DeWitt. 200-yard individual medley was set in a record-setting time by Carroll's Tristan DeWitt. The 100-yard free was won in record time by Homestead's Scott Hodson, and the 500-yard freestyle was won in record time by Homestead's Julian Norman. So that's 3 straight sectional titles for Homestead. As they, along with a lot of Carroll swimmers, Jacob Miller, and maybe some Concordia swimmers, if they can get called up, will be heading to state. The meet was a lot closer than we anticipated based on the prelim times. Carroll did pick up some points, but not quite enough to get over the hump. Things might have been a little bit different. Their number 1 diver was involved in a serious automobile accident back in January and unable to participate. Thankfully, I can say he is okay, but unable to participate. And had he been here, the results of the sectional may have been a little bit different. But nothing you can do about that. You got to go with the horses you brought, and Homestead is going to come out victorious. The presentation of the sectional trophy will be forthcoming. We'll watch a little bit of the celebration. Congratulations to Coach Justin Max and his 2018 Homestead Spartans, the 2018 IHSAA sectional champions. We'd like to thank Liz Kaywood and her staff here at the Helen P. Brown Natatorium for all they've done to put on this sectional. Again, it went off without flaw. Each year it gets better and faster, as the 4 records indicate. Next year, or next week, tune in Sean Gibson from Concordia named Coach of the Year. But tune in if you're interested next Friday night at 6 o'clock on IHSATV.org to watch the prelims. And then next Saturday at the same thing at 1 o'clock to watch the finals and root on some of these Homestead and Carroll and Snyder kids as they go for state titles. And by all means, if you can get down to IEPUI Natatorium, head down there. There's a lot of fast swimming going on. Again, I'd like to thank Liz Kaywood and her staff. I would like to thank Jeff Mahoney and Summit City Sports for putting this on, and our sponsors. SummitCitySports.com. You want to follow us on Twitter at 260.sports and like our Facebook page on Summit City Sports. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for many high school sporting and also other activities such as show choir and band events. Parkview Sports Medicine, our elite team and experts in orthopedic surgery and athletic rehabilitation, nutrition, sports performance offer athletes coordinated care and instant access at the new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic. Big Eyed Fish, come visit us at our historic 1502 North Wells Street location or the Express locations at 3001 Hillegas Road and the Express location at 1030 Leo Road. Again, you have been watching IHSAA sectional swimming on SummitCitySports.com, where Homestead Spartans have taken home their 3rd straight sectional championship. For Mitchell Van Brockland, Sean Boswell, Jeff Mahoney, I'm Jim Kressel saying good night, everyone, from the Helen P. Brown Natatorium as the Homestead Spartans celebrate their 2018 sectional title.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website. SummitCitySports.com. Live streamed high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
The Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse is a state-of-the-art facility that has become the home of sports in our region. Also the home of Parkview Sports Medicine with our new Ortho Express Clinic, AWP Sports, plus all kinds of club activity from basketball, volleyball, futsal, pickleball, and more. The Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. Check it out today.
There's Ryan looking to center into the slot to Esther, but broken up by Scott. He shoots, hits, scores!
Now the sticks are up. And now this is bad news. Everyone going at it down here in the corner.
Fort Wayne
The
Hockey.
Plong with the deke.
6 teams.
Bone cutter to Ryan Freeby with the shot from the point. He scores!
Live stream games new this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
At Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. Our elite team of experts in orthopedic surgery, athletic rehabilitation, nutrition, and sports performance coordinate your care all along the way. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on.
It's the comets. Comets falling from the sky. 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 Comets falling from the sky.
If you're an athlete, you never know when an injury might happen. That's why Parkview Sports Medicine has made the new Ortho Express Clinic. Located inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, the Ortho Express Clinic has everything that an athlete would need, from physicians to athletic rehab and sports performance. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
Parkview Sports Medicine continues to lead the way in Northeast Indiana with our new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic, offering direct access to physicians and Saturday morning clinics that are convenient for you. Parkview Sports Medicine, game on.
Get mad about blue. Get mad about your Fort Wayne Mad Ants. When looking for the best basketball action in town, it's the Go to FortWayneMadAnts.com for the complete game schedule. See your Fort Wayne Mad Ant in action. Get mad about blue.
If you're an athlete or the parent of one, you want to check out Parkview Sports Medicine. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionist, our expert physicians at O&E, and the area's only specialized athletic rehab. To learn more, go to ParkviewSportsMedicine.com and click on the Services tab.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot. Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl.
Shot hits the post, and the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores!
The rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
AWP Sports finds the athlete's purpose beyond athletics. The industry leader in sports performance for over 10 years in Northeast Indiana. You can find out more by clicking on the Services tab at the top of this page.